Alright guys, so this is day 2 and we have very good weather out there, and this is your radio show host. Oh sorry, okay, so let's just get going with the class. And what we are trying to start today is the start of the 4 courses, and the first one is the top one, the top cloud service provider on planet Earth. And whenever we have colonies on Mars, so there as well, I guess, in next 20 years. We don't know about that. So till now, for now, it's AWS that's leading. So we always start with the best in the market, and then we go towards the second best and the third best, and so on, right? So that's where AWS we will start. Then Azure, Microsoft Azure AZ104. Then we're gonna go for Google Cloud. But strangely, by last year, since till last year, Google Cloud was kind of not, in terms of certification, it was not very much in demand. But now it's really gone up, and it's in demand now. So 2020, the certifications, the top certifications has Google Cloud, and in the first class we also mentioned that, right? So guys, my request is, hopefully everyone's connected, and guys, it's okay, doesn't matter. So I'll just become presenter. Now you're not the presenter, and so yeah, the screen is back to me. Okay guys, so what we were talking about was that we have Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, course 4-in-1, and we're gonna go for AWS, right? So in AWS, what we need to go for first is, now how many services are there, and what's the difference between the you know IaaS and SaaS. So we're going to talk about that, and then there is that difference that you need to actually understand for yeah for our course. Now, first of all, what we are talking about is IaaS here, and IaaS and infrastructure as a service, right? So infrastructure as a service, right? And then we also have that. Okay, so guys, let me mute my wow, mute all. And I know what's okay. So here, please try to mute your mic, and IaaS here, and then we're gonna go for, then there is SaaS here, and then there is PaaS. Actually, there are many other AAS here as well, and like DRAS, and that's disaster recovery as a service. And there are so many other services. Very soon there will be McDonald's AAS, and there will be chicken fries AAS as well. I don't know how when I eat that it's gonna be digital, right? So anyway, infrastructure as a service. Now this is where we are, and that's where lots of jobs are there. But obviously the others also have those jobs, other categories. So what is infrastructure as a service? And that is what we're starting, and all 4 courses are about infrastructure as a service, right? So the first one, we can create, okay, first of all, we are connecting to someone else's data center. So that's one thing. And second thing is that we are able to create virtual machines that contains applications that runs the companies and earns companies millions and millions of dollars. Able to create virtual machines. Okay, some students are still connecting and reconnecting. So okay, here, so we're able to create virtual machines, and we're able to create storage. We're able to create Networking, that's where it gets really interesting, that you can create your own network according to your customized needs. MS is saying can't hear you well. Guys, are you able to hear me correctly? Um, Guys, are you able to hear me correctly? Shaf says yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Shiva says
clear.
yes. Mojafri says yes. Fahad says yes. Hear you very well. Okay,
Yes, but sometimes it's just mess up. But yeah, it's okay now.
oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
Is it OS talking?
No, it's Usman.
Usman, okay. So sometimes it is messed up. Ouch. Okay. Hopefully your internet is okay, because many others are okay. So guys, whenever it is a bit, shaky, just let me know in the chat, and well, and then I'm not sure what I need to do. I have a Bell internet connection that's supposed to be good, but yes, I'll tell my kids in other rooms to get away from Minecraft and Roblox and all other games, and yeah, all from those ARY dramas and Geo News. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I'll just try to go ahead and we'll just try if you have our WhatsApp group. Oh yeah, we're gonna be creating a WhatsApp group soon. There's another question here, that do we have a class WhatsApp group here? So it's related to that, and I will be creating that very soon. Please add me there so I can get the meeting. Oh, sure, we'll do. Mokas. Okay, so guys, I'll be creating very soon a WhatsApp group here. In fact, tonight or this weekend, and then we're going to really, be organized. Now, there are some students who are connected today as well, and okay, so Abbas says sounds good now. Owner is still trying to perplexed about why Arslan's name is showing as owner and not Arslan. So we're going to be solving that mystery as well today. Well, after the class, Arslan. So, but it looks cool when your name is showing as owner here, right? So you should just be proud of it. Okay, so what we were saying here, guys, infrastructure as a service. We are connected to someone else's data center. We are able to create virtual machines, storage, networking, databases. So it's pretty much a data center in on our fingertips, right? Data center on our fingertips, and you could. So if you have worked on VMware, if you have worked on Hyper-V in Microsoft and VMware by VMware, so you would know that how to create a virtual machine. It's pretty simple, right? But this course is not about how to create a virtual machine. Well, we're gonna still show you that, but it's not about that. It's about, when you create a virtual machine, can you make it highly available? When you create a virtual machine, can the company's most critical application work well? And can the company's most critical application on top of the virtual machine that you created, will that application be highly available? If disaster strikes, then how can you recover that? Did you create virtual machine in such a way that it's going to be fault tolerant or highly available? So it's more about how to have BC. It's more about how to have BC, which is not British Columbia again. So it's business continuity. So how to create a virtual machine in a way that it will be highly available. It will be having disaster recovery. You will have disaster recovery plans there as well with the help of the vendor, and it will be fault tolerant, and it will be performing really good. So all these four categories, for that, we will learn that are the company applications slash services highly available, uh, uh, and fault tolerant. So we talked about in last class as well that will it be, if active machine goes down, the passive machine becomes active, right? So then there is that backups are going on, right? Are going. So and then BC, which is business continuity. So is that business continuity, right? So is that all possible? Business continuity and everything else is possible, right? So for that, you need to make sure that you understand virtual machines, not only how to create them, but all these factors about virtual machine. And definitely the one that will create a lot of tickets for you in the market or in the job is the performance. So is it performing fast, or it is giving you degraded performance? So this is where what we're going to learn. So these are the main things that you need. So how can you connect to another's data center? So Amazon's data center, create your company's virtual machines, and then make them highly available and fault tolerant. Backups and restore are working. Business continuity is offered 100% or 99.99% or whatever your SLA or service level agreement is. So that's what we're learning here. Then there's SaaS, and SaaS is, first of all, in Southeast Asia, it is also called mother-in-law. So SaaS is a very important word for those who are from Pakistan, India, and okay, just kidding. So let's go ahead. So SaaS is software as a service, right? Software as a service, and that is where software is already there, and you just have to work on that software. So software is already installed and ready to be customized, for company needs. Customized for company needs. So the software is already there to installed and customized for company needs, and so that this is also getting a huge market. Microsoft has its Microsoft 365 services going on there. So obviously, that's where ready-made software are there. So you don't have to worry about creating virtual machines. The operating system inside, the storage, the high availability of storage, the networking, your customized networking. You don't have to worry about databases, anything. So in software service, you just worry about software. PaaS is where the clients are. It's for developers, and developers deploy their applications without concerned without concern about the underlying hardware, underlying actually platform and OS. So they just deploy the application according to their needs, and they go ahead with that. Now this is, so we are going to go for this course, and so the whole four courses are about IAS, and we already talked about that, how much jobs are there in the market, and how much in demand this infrastructure services. So there's a oh, okay. So Navi is asking that how we can recheck that our account is free. So guys, now I'm gonna go to the account and we're gonna check it out. But the thing is that we're learning the four top vendors in infrastructure as a service, and there are lots of jobs there for these. So lots of jobs on the planet. It's everywhere, right? Lots of jobs are. So you're shifting somewhere else. Yes, they need also cloud. You're coming back here. Yes, we need cloud expertise as well. So that's why we're gonna go in depth with a lot of services there, and that's what we're gonna do. So the top cloud provider is AWS. So the top cloud CSPs, cloud services provider, top CSP or cloud services provider is AWS. So we're gonna go for Amazon Web Services. Now, Amazon Web Services, they, first of all, they're very generous, and in the last class we also talked about that. They are offering. You can create as many free accounts there with a different email, right? we can create as many free accounts, user account, and that's also called subscription, right? So we can create as many free user account subscriptions there, and with different different email addresses, right? So that's good. Well, that's what we cannot do with Azure, Microsoft Azure. So do not create your free subscription, which is 30 days. This is with different email addresses, we can create many, and that is 1 year. Okay, for 1 year. So you can create, in fact, I would recommend that we're gonna start doing intense labs here. So my recommendation is that you can create actually multiple AWS accounts, that one account you're practicing with me, the other account you can practice yourself. So you're gonna follow the labs with me, and the other account you can redo those labs again, right? So, well, you can do that with one account as well. You don't have to create multiple accounts for that. And you can create, multiple accounts as well. And those multiple accounts you can also practice. So one user account for the class and the other user account for your homework, right? So the more you repeat, the better you get. So that's the repetition is the gold here. And again, I would say that give it your 200%. Be prepared to give your 200% here. I'm going to be giving you assignments and tickets as well. You need to resolve those tickets, and if you resolve that, it's going to be beneficial to you. If you don't resolve that, you're going to be at loss, right? So we're going to go ahead and try to get some basic introduction to AWS services. So I'm just going to put that on OneNote. So how it works is that hopefully you have created your account here. This is my LMS, learning management system. I'm just going to put that here on chat, in the chat of WebEx, and you can create a free account here. That's the first thing. Second thing is you can go to this logo here, which is showing AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and AZ104. But it's $4.99 written here. So you can just pay by indirect email, just like many students have done already, and or you can just directly pay here as well. So it's up to you. So you click that course and you'll get, so there all the course material and the course videos will be uploaded here on my LMS here, right? So now that's one thing. Now let's go to our AWS, and what are we going to learn there? We're going to try to do there. What are we going to understand there? So so let's log in to our AWS free tier account, user account subscription, user account subscription. All right. So second thing is that we're going to there are some rules here, guys, and you need to follow those rules to be to be safe. To be safe from what? So the thing is that there's an Einstein rule that some of my students from other courses already know. So if I no click, then you no click. Now I'm even avoiding grammatical mistakes here, but the point is so clear with this simple sentence. So I'm gonna be doing the lab. Do not assume anything that, oh, I know he's gonna do this. Oh, let me just do it before he does that. And while I will customize my configurations and you'll be doing something else, I'll be doing something else. So during the labs, if I haven't gone ahead, please don't go ahead, just follow me strictly. So that's during the labs. That's not labs, right? Second thing is that for the cloud class, there is always, for these cloud classes, for IaaS, there's a Office 365 course going on alternate days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is free account where you don't have to put credit card, right? So here you have to put a credit card, right? So you have to be careful. So for IAAS courses, we create big labs during the class and we delete them, and let me just put the other word also in caps, carefully, at the end of the class. So you have to strictly follow me to not be incurred any charges. But the main thing is AWS reimburses even last penny if charged, if billed, right? Reimburses even last penny if charged, as long as you are in a free tier subscription, right? So free tier, if you're doing a lot of labs and you're really going ahead and you're going in depth with that, you really want to learn, and that's how you should be. So if you get a charge, oh, 50 cents, why there are 50 cents? So even if you talk to the support, I'm going to tell you how, and talk to support and ask them, hey, I was just doing testing and it's just for testing I was doing that, so can you just reimburse that? And they will reimburse within 2, 3, or 4 business days. They will reimburse everything, right? So the thing is that we're not gonna even come to that situation. You can practice as much as you want, and I would recommend really, really, really practice a lot, right? So practice, 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 but at the end of your lab, simply delete what you created. That's the name of the game, right? So that's what we do. So just follow me carefully with everything, and you will be good. You will be up and running real soon. So AWS reimburses even last penny of charge. So we will also create a billing alert for us in case there is charges, suppose 2 cents or 5 cents or 10 cents are there. Whenever I say charges, don't be afraid. And first thing is, if you want to learn, then be fearless, right? But careful. So yeah, fearless but careful, right? So that's what you're going to be here. But in production environments, obviously you would have enough experience that you will be careful, and you will be implementing, or you will be resolving all the tickets, and you will be implementing all the latest configurations there. So the cloud field is so much evolving now. Cloud services are evolving very fast, and very fast is ridiculous, right? So okay, so the owner is saying that actually the owner of this college, or my owner of the school is saying that am I hiding myself, so why I'm not showing? So actually I wanted to open the camera. It's just that it's kind of a little yeah, I think my camera is being used by some other application, and I don't. I have opened some 5 or 6 applications, others. So I don't have time to actually check that. So anyway, let's go ahead, guys. Cloud services are evolving very fast, and but I'll just try this camera thing again, and it's trying to go ahead. Now, the cloud evolving very fast, so you will see new features within the span of new features within few months, few weeks to few months. So this means that you have to be in touch with the technology real fast. You have to subscribe to some technology YouTube, or videos, or technology email listings there that tells you what are the new changes happening the in the class, or in the class, seriously, in this field, or what new services AWS has introduced, what new services Azure has introduced, and what new services Google Cloud has introduced. So you have to be in touch with all 3 major vendors, that what are the new services, because in the interview they do ask, hey, did you hear about that new service called Kubernetes? Did you hear about container being, there's a new feature in that containers in AWS. So you have to know that before you go to the interview, right? So that's why stay in touch with all the advances in cloud. But the labs that we're going to go through in depth, after that, the confidence you should be having will give you a lot of boost in giving interviews really confidently and with with a lot of ease. Okay, guys. So now let's go to AWS user account and explore all the services uh, and the dashboard. Which board? Dashboard. Okay, so how do we go there? So let's get going. So first of all, yeah, I was talking about this IDProf courses or use Fedora.com. Soon I will change that name. But there are some courses here that and you need to be enrolled to this course. AWS, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, 4-in-1. So I will be enrolling you. If you directly purchase from here, yes, you will be enrolled automatically. If you haven't, then just interact the fee to me on my email itguyme@gmail.com, and then I will enroll you manually. So okay, guys. So this weekend I'll be doing that and creating the WhatsApp group as well. Now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go to AWS. I'm gonna write AWS here, aws.amazon.com. Enter that, aws.amazon.com, and there is that my account here. So what we need to do is we need to reach the portal. Owner says, sorry, Arslan says, sir, I have only one screen. Okay, so for next class, please try to arrange two, or you can just see my screen to your cell phone, and you can follow on the other screen, right? So the laptop screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the dashboard or my account here, and AWS Management Console is there, right? So first is aws.amazon.com. Second is just go to the dashboard or portal. Now there is that screen I'm seeing there, and that is root user. So hopefully everyone is logged into root user. So need to download WebEx on phone. Yes, yes, or I mean Arslan. I was gonna say owner. This is so much fun. Okay. Yes, Arslan. So here, root user email address, and that would be your email address, whatever you clicked here. And then I'm just gonna click next. So I'll put the password, but it's gonna ask me this. Now, how many of us have MFA there? It's going to be multi-factor authentication. Obviously no one, because we're going to be creating that ourselves step by step. We're going to go for MFA, but right now I have MFA and I have it on Google Authenticator. So I'll just try to log in from that. 696344. Oops, 696344. I hope that's the one. Oh, it's not that one. 1405151. It's not that. Okay. The new Google Authenticator numbers will come here. 827714. 827714. Are you kidding me? Oh, I have to put the password first. And then MFA 827714. Oh, it's not that. So I'll put the password again. It's the other. I have two accounts actually. Sorry, and you will be facing that very soon. So because when we configure the MFA 924380. 924380. Are you kidding me? So So is it the? I think the password is not correct. So I'll just check that out. Seriously, never happened. So guys, are you all logged in? Because I'm trying to log in. Anyone hacker here? So I could just use your services now. and then the password again. I think it's the password that is the problem. So I'm just gonna go to my settings, and then I will go for passwords here, and I will try to check my password. And you can look somewhere else now. Yeah. Oh, look, bird. Okay. No. So I'm just gonna put that on the other screen, and I'll just check my password here in saved in the browser, and then I'll come back to you. So everyone's in. Everyone's logged in. Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you for your reply. So let me just check my password here. It is. I hope I don't recite my password. I mean, normally. Oh, okay. So Iman is logged in. Usman is logged in. Ashraf is logged in. Wakas is logged in. Only four. Oh, so my password is actually still a number. Huh. Why is it a number? Okay. So now I got the password correct. Let me just check if. So it's the other one. Sorry, guys. Okay, so everyone's logged in and I'm not logged in. That's not fair. Guys, you should have a problem as well. If your teacher has a problem, then you should have a problem. That's another rule of the class. Are you okay? So I'm just gonna log in from another account, or I'll just create another one, guys. I think I forgot the password, and this is going create a new AWS account. Okay. So both my Google authenticators are actually not working. That's not possible. Why is that working? Okay. So anyway, I tried. I tried with both actually. So I'll click forgot password, and I'll go for 247. Wow, 24. Because tomorrow I have another class with this, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Password email sent. Sorry guys, just bear with me, and I will go for that password. Oh, there you go. So yes, they have asked to put a new password here. New password. So I'm just putting that. Well, that happened today. Tomorrow also AWS. Oh, actually tomorrow is Azure class somewhere else. Yikes. I thought it was AWS. So I'll update my password on my browser. Now I'm gonna log in from there. I'm on the second screen, guys. So I'll just drag the screen now here. Serious. It's the MFA that might give me a problem. So anyone using already MFA with AWS? MFA code. Okay. So guys, I'll just. I want to create a new account. Please work. Please work. Thank you. So it was my password. That was an issue. Alright, guys. So we need to put our credit card, right? Yes, Ali, you have to put your credit card. And if you want to share with us, I'll keep a good eye on that your credit card, and yeah, so I'll keep a good eye on your credit card, and I'll just purchase a car from that. Okay, guys. So here, how much they will charge? Ali, they will not charge anything. They just want to know that you are who you say you are, right? So they will never charge anything. Well, 100% sure. Yes, I'm 100% sure. Yeah. Suppose you create a virtual machine in AWS, and then you leave it forever powered on, yes, they will charge you then. So after getting the address has to be real as well. Yes, Ali, address has to be real. All right, guys. So I'm just inside. So how many are inside here? How many are logged in? I think everyone's logged in here. Okay, you're welcome. So now, if everyone's logged in, let's get going with some intro here. So, oh, okay. Yikes. So, logged in, logged in, logged in, logged in. Okay. And Rishabh says how we can check if it's free tier account we created. Well, when you fill up a form, it shows you free tier. So the other thing is that you can go to the My Billing dashboard. So guys, if everyone's logged in, you can go to this top right here. Top right. Oops. So Usman, you could have gone there. Okay. So My Billing dashboard. So if you're there, there's a My Billing dashboard here, right? So at the time of creation, you need to select free tier. Basically, yeah. So Rishabh, when you create an account, if you follow the free tier form, that's the guarantee that it is free tier. Otherwise, yes, suppose somebody else created for you and you're not sure. Otherwise, the form always is the one thing. So, guys, this is our favorite place when we log in from there, right? On the top right, you see this. Hopefully, everyone's following. And My Billing dashboard is there. So, let's go to the My Billing dashboard. And on my billing dashboard here, thank God I have zero. Okay, I was thinking that, oh, see this? I'm incurring charges here. 0.02 cents. Woohoo! Yay! Finally. And I've done so much labs here. So much labs, right? So this 0.2 cents, I want to give them actually 0.4 cents instead of 2 because I learned a lot from there, right? So that's what I want you to think. That if it's 0.1 cent or 2 cents, just don't worry. Okay, so second thing is actually this is a very good question from Rishabh, and nobody ever asked me that before. Because when you fill a form for free tier, it's supposed to be free tier, right? But I never went there and tried to check that. That hey, free tier. I know that it's free tier, but can you just give me some other proof that it's free tier? So service plans and okay, so there are budgets here and oh, I'll just go back here again to the previous one and bills. I will try to go to bills and in the bills you can see it's zero. Actually, it's gonna be here on the account, so let me just check that. See this, I'm going to the top right here, right? I'm going to the top right and there's my account written here, right? My account. So I'm going to the top right, maybe everyone's following, and then I'm going my account. So it that's where your account information, basic account information, your address is there. And if I keep going down, 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 down in my account, if I go for Control F to find something on this page, so if I go for free, so there's no such word as free written here. But why I took you here? Because at the end of that my account, there is a close account here. Whenever you wanted to close this account, suppose you're done with all the labs and everything and you don't want it to be started to stay there, so you can close this account from here and they will just remove everything for you and they will close. So that's one more thing I wanted to show, but I actually came here also to check that, hey, where does it say that it is free tier, right? So that's one thing. And okay, so well, yeah,
Can I ask just a question?
yeah.
Yeah, it can't be $64.
Guys, there's a lot of sound coming.
Hello?
Yes, yeah, guys, everyone else, please mute. Everyone else, please mute. Yeah, you were saying? Yeah, who was asking question? Please go ahead. Yeah, Ashraf was asking. Okay.
Yeah, this is me.
No, where's the exclusive?
Okay,
Hello?
please go ahead. Yeah. Oh, so it is under billing preference. Okay, billing preference is this one. Yes, you can type the question as well. If on mic you are unable to say, then you can type the question as well. I think Ashraf was asking question or someone else. Ahmed was asking question.
Hey, Amir, I think it's there under my service quota. Like if you go to your account, I just found it.
Oh, okay, that's very good. Oh, there's a free tier. Oh, billing preference. See this? So yeah, Navi, thank you for that. Navi actually said, but Rishabh, you also got it. So guys, it's in billing preference here that you will see receive free tier usage alerts. So this is again here that my billing dashboard. If I click that my billing dashboard again, and for future because well yeah, so then billing preference. So from this, if we go to my billing dashboard and then uh, this is billing preference. So if you go to billing preference, so that's where receive free tier usage alerts. All right, thank you. So Ali, phone
And
was
I
talking.
think,
Yep.
Amir, if you go to that your account again, there is something called my service quotas.
Yeah, this one. Okay, my service quotas.
Yeah. And over here you can see like what services are free for you.
But that is also with the commercial accounts. But does it say is
Okay.
it is free tier? So that where
No.
we went
Okay.
before. Yeah, for my billing dashboard and then billing preferences. So thank you, Navita. Okay, guys, here free tier usages. So this is a proof that it is. But when you fill a form with free tier, yeah, I think it's proof enough. Mohammad Awaz is saying that it charged me $64. Mohammad Awaz, are you kidding me? $64? Whoa! So Mohammad Awad, this happens. First of all, Mohammad Awad, uh, is your account a free tier? Yes, I think it is. Second thing, uh, second thing, please, guys, whoever gets charged anything, see this. Now I'm gonna tell you. Suppose you get charged 2 cents, 20 cents, and this is the second time it is happening that on the first day of the class, a student is telling me that he was playing with the services and he didn't actually delete the services, so he was charged like a lot of. So then I told him go to support like this. See this support. Yeah, and support center. So you need to go to support. Now I'm just telling what I'm telling. If you incur charges and you want it reimbursed, see this, go to support and go to support center here, and they are allowing you in free tier just to create a billing ticket, right? So there is a create case orange button here in the support center, in support. So there's a create case here. This is something that you need to know in case you're not really following me and you're going your own way. So how do you do then this? So create case, and once you click the create case here, so there's that account and billing support. There's a service limit increase. There's a technical support. So these two are not available for you. Service limit increase, well, if you want to pay, and technical support, that's not available. You're allowed to create account and billing support here, right? And if you go down here, so there is the type, and then you can go for billing. So first is account and billing support, then you can go to billing by putting that button drop down, and then you can go for category, and that is either account reinstatement, suppose it was blocked for some reason, or consolidate billing, or see this free tier. Now it is being recorded here, so you will see all these details in the video when you get that video. So it's free tier here, and then you put the subject please reimburse. Okay, array is connecting now. Okay, so see this. Please reimburse me the charges as I was just testing. So, and then be very, humble, and then start crying even, and then please give me that, please. So yeah, kind of write that kind of email, and they will reimburse right away. Even if you go professional, please, I was testing, can you reimburse? They will reimburse every penny back. If it's a free tier, they will reimburse. If it's not a free tier, forget it. So Yeah, it happened to me. I forgot that the free tier has finished already, and I kept on recklessly going for new labs just to play with all the advanced technology. And then there were some nice charges coming my way, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm on free tier." And they said, "No, you're not on free tier. When did you last check?" And I said, "Few months ago." And they said, "Okay, are you ready to pay?" I said, "Okay." So, guys, this is the way to ask for reimbursement, and they are very professional. They have always reimbursed if charges were incurred. But if you strictly follow me, no way you're gonna get any charges, or maybe 2-3 cents, right? So strictly follow me. Oh yeah. So there is somebody on the mic. In last class, in the recording, if you can hear at 4th minute, in the last class there was somebody breathing on the mic, like like this. So there was a sound like that. I was like, please do remind me if there's a sounds on the mic, so I could just mute all. Sometimes mics do get turned on for no reason, right? Okay, guys. So first thing, when you enter AWS, you visit this area, My Billing Dashboard. That's the first thing, right? And we visited. If there are charges incurred, you go to, second thing is you go to support center here. Just create this ticket and be very just write the ticket, and in 4 or 5 business days they will give you back all your money, right? Or they will remove the charges. I mean, like, they haven't charged you yet, but you can just remove that too, right? Even if they haven't taken the money. So, and yes, as Avesha is also saying, please follow the Einstein rule, and that is, if I no click, you no click, and you strictly follow me. Oh, what is that, Einstein? Yeah. If I no click, do you see here on the, oh yeah, there it is. During labs, if I no click, you no click. But delete everything at the end of the lab. Just, you're the administrator. You're going to be getting hopefully a 40 per hour job, 30 per hour job. You have to be really careful. I mean, you have to follow rules. That's it. I'm going to tell you the rules. You follow them, right? So I'm here to help you. And if you're stuck with something, obviously, if you are doing something on not a free tier, then obviously I cannot help you. But in a free tier, yes. So guys, that's one thing. So let's go ahead from there. You understand My Billing Dashboard. You understand the support area, right? Second thing is, or third thing is, let's go to this area. This is where we're gonna spend our whole time for AWS, and that is services. Okay, so that's not a software. I just do Echo. I've practiced, and it's getting good, right? So okay, services. When we click the services, these are all the services that you see, and some of those services we're going to be going through. We're not going to go through all services. Why? Because solutions architect associate talks about certain services that are really critical to the company. So we're going to stick to the exam objectives there, and this is the services area here that you're going to be working on. If I go to the services here, hopefully everyone is there now, and yeah, so I haven't read all the chat here, and there was on the chat there are some questions here, and it is oh, okay. So first of all, we were talking about that, and Mohammad Awad was saying it charged me $64, and then Mohammad Awad did not. Okay, did not say anything else. So, Mohammad, yeah, hopefully you're writing that email to AWS, and in 3 to 4 days you will be reimbursed with all those charges. Okay. And Ali's asking, if I want to create new account later, I need to change my email address, right? Yes, exactly. You have to change the email address. That's all, right? And okay, let's keep going. Now, guys, once in the services, you can see compute. This is the main category, and that's where you will see EC2, and that is a virtual machine. So Ali's asking another question on chat. For login, we need to log in root user. Yes, Ali, you need to log in root user. No, not IAM user, root user. Not IAM, root user. Okay. So the second thing is, so first is compute, and second thing is second category is storage that we're going to be working on. So within compute is what is compute? Compute is CPU and RAM and networking. So mainly it is CPU and RAM and IOPS, which is SSD, right? So the drive or HDD drive. So EC2 instances our EC2 is the virtual machine, Elastic Compute Cloud, ECC, Elastic Compute Cloud. So ECC is or EC2 is just a virtual machine. We're going to be spending a lot of time here in EC2. Then there is Lightsail, Lambda, Batch, Elastic Beanstalk, Serverless Application Repository, AWS Outposts, EC2, Image Builder. So these are all services that will have some mention in this course, but not in depth. The in depth we're going to go for this course will be the EC2 itself. Then we go to the second category here, and that is storage. And there is S3, simple storage here, and that is simple storage services, S3 or SSS. This is simple storage services, and this is where you can upload files and folders for the company. And obviously these files are critical for the company. You have to really make sure how do you secure the files that you're uploading there, and how to make them cross region replication. How can you enable replication there? There are so many services inside S3 that we will be exploring. So this is, we're going to go in depth. Then there's Elastic File Share, EFS and FSX, then S3 Glacier, Storage Gateway, and AWS Backup. So the storage related configurations we're going to be going through according to exam objectives, right? And then we go down to databases. So we're going to go to Relational Database Services, or RDS. And RDS, we're going to go for Microsoft SQL Server. We're going to create one virtual machine there, and or EC2 instance. Let's stick to the AWS terminology. The virtual machine is here called EC2 instance, right? So we're going to stick to the terminology here when we talk about AWS resources. So EC2 equals virtual machines, and EBS actually is the hard disk drive, and then what we're talking S3 is simple storage services. So simple storage services. Oh, admit. So finally it has been figured out, and the owner is back to Arsalan. Yay! Okay, Arsalan, so it's congratulations to you, and because what you have achieved, you owe me samosas, right? So I'll tell you the best bakery in sweets in town, in Scarborough, and that is Samosa and Sweet Factory. That is so tasty samosas. Okay, anyway, so let's go ahead, guys. We were talking about EC2. That is Elastic Compute Cloud. So remember that it is Elastic Compute Cloud. Now you should play with terminology. You should use terminology always. This is Elastic Block Storage. So Amazon had to come up with such weird names for simple things. And then there is simple storage services. Simple storage services. This is just, you can upload files and folders. That is it. Simple storage. So they had to come up with a long name for that. But that's just common terminology that we're going to be talking about, and we're going to be repeating that a lot. So get used to talking with terminology. So we are preparing for interview from now, right? So I'll be throwing questions at you. You can come to Mike and answer them, or you can answer them on the chat. But we're gonna really try to prepare for the interview and for the projects and for the job environment by practicing the terminology now, right? Okay, if we go back here, so RDS or relational database services. Oops. Okay. So whatever terminology that's coming our way, I'm just gonna keep on adding here. So you will have a table there. Before the interview, you can just go there. So relational database services. Anyone who has experience with Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle SQL Server databases. Yeah, anyone has experience with. So you can put it in the chat. If you have experience with installing or working on Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle SQL Server. So, okay, Wakas says yes, Shiva says yes. SQL, okay, Oracle SQL or Microsoft SQL. Okay, so two of us have that. Okay, Microsoft SQL. Okay. Imani has the experience as well, very good. So, And then Ali's asking, sorry, I cancel my payment information in beginning and that I log in with my account. Which place I need to add my credit card info? You can give the credit card to me. Just take that picture and send the front and back information to me, and that's it. But just kidding. So okay, Ali, you cancel the credit card information. Now you want to put that again? Well, so you need to go to my account here, Ali. See this, my account, and yeah, again, so orders and invoices or payment methods. See this, the last one is payment methods. Payment methods. And then what is the method of your payment? Hey guys, look somewhere else. It's my credit card information showing here. So look, bird up there. Okay. Anyway, so just go to payment methods and add your credit card, right? Okay. I'm just gonna go back. Yeah. Okay. So if there are any questions, let me know. Otherwise, please keep your mics muted. And if anyone hears any sound in the mic, just let me know. I'll mute everyone. So guys, here we're talking about RDS or relational databases. So we're going to be creating one database. We're not going to go in depth with how databases really work, but we're going to create a virtual machine with Microsoft SQL Server inside. Then we're going to connect from our laptop to that virtual machine, which has the Microsoft SQL Server Express Edition or the free edition installed there. And then we're going to just create our own database and one table, right? Then what is the difference between this database and DynamoDB, Elasticache, Neptune, Amazon Redshift, Amazon QLDB, Amazon DocumentDB, and Amazon Keyspaces? Wow. So last year QLDB was not there, Keyspaces was not there. Last year DocumentDB, QLDB, Keyspaces was not there, and Neptune was not there, and so there were 4 there 2 years ago. After 2 years there are 7 services or 8 services here, right? So migration and transfer, then there's a category for that, AWS Migration Hub. What is that? We're going to talk about that. Application Discovery Service, Database Migration Service, Server Migration Service, SMS, AWS Transfer Family, transfer. You want to upload all the data from from your company data centers to Amazon data centers. So this is migration and transfer category, shows you that. Add Snow Family, AWS Snow Family, and data sync synchronization. You're just syncing like OneDrive, Google Drive, right? So this is the migration family. Then comes down the networking, and that's where network and content delivery. This is VPC. That is also very, very important. Oh, owner is still there. Sir, connected to the cell phone and my name is showing correctly, but not on the laptop. It's still showing owner. Oh, okay. We're gonna try to figure that out, Arslan. But it's okay if you're the owner. I accept you as an owner. It's okay. So, okay, let's go ahead. It's your laptop name. Okay, guys. This happened again. That it changed to presenter. I think somebody clicked the presenter button by mistake. Okay, Vakas is saying that it's your laptop name. Oh, so it just takes that laptop name here? Really? My laptop name is not Saeed Shahzad. Okay. But I'm just gonna go back here, guys. Somebody click that presenter button, and I don't know how it, without my permission, it changes to presenter view. Okay, guys, here. Yeah, I'll just participant. Okay, Ahmed Abu Bakr. So yeah, we're gonna talk about VPC. Then VPC is Virtual Private Cloud. Yeah, you are presenter and you are the host, and you must have entered your name. Yeah, so when you create an account, when you're connecting, at that time it asks, and you can just put the name there. Okay, so guys, we're gonna go for VPC, and we're gonna talk about that now, right? So what is VPC? First of all, again, put on your notes here. I'm gonna be downloading this whole thing that I'm on this page. What I'm writing here, I'm just gonna put on MS Word. I'm gonna upload it to LMS, and whoever has access to LMS can access all this as well. So VPC is Virtual Private Cloud, and that is Virtual Private Cloud, and this is our our private network in public cloud, right? So you can create your subnets here. One subnet has databases, other subnet has front-end application, third subnet has is just created for test machines. So we're going to create our own VPC, virtual private cloud, and then we're going to create subnets there. We're going to configure a traffic flow there, and then so guys, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me all? Are you able to hear me? So okay, all others are saying yes. So Arsalan, all others are able to hear me. Okay. Check your audio, please. And good luck tea shooting. I mean, like, our moral support is there. Yes, you can do it. Good. Or yeah, restart your computer or something like that, Arslan. Join back or log out or log in. Join back. Thank you, Fahad, for that. All right, guys. So we can see VPC here, networking and content delivery. So VPC is virtual private cloud. This is also one of the most important topics there. I'm going to click that VPC here, and inside the VPC, then there are you can create networks. There is subnets. There's route tables, internet gateways, DHCP options, VPN, virtual private gateways there, VPC peering, NAT gateways. So that's all about networking within your public cloud, right? So I'm just going to click that back here because we're going to be going in depth with all those one by one. But right now, oops, hey, look back somewhere else. Hey, this is my credit card. Oh, oh. So here, I was just going down, yeah, networking and content delivery category. That is really important. So VPC, CloudFront, Route 53. Anyone knows what is the port 53 for? Anyone knows what is the port 53 for? Yeah, anyone knows what is port 53 for? Okay, Wakas says DNS, Imane, Shiva, Rishav, Fahad says DNS, DNS, DNS. Okay, exactly, port 53 is for DNS. So Route 53 is the DNS service that we're going to explore as well. API Gateway, Direct Connect, AWS App Mesh, AWS Cloud Map, Global Accelerator. So there's all the weird names for different services here. And then it goes down to developer tools. And obviously, if any one of you are into development as well, then you can check these out. But obviously, this is for application specialists or system administrators that this course is, and not for development, right? So robotics, AWS RoboMaker, and then customer environment, AWS IQ, support, managed services. So this is just customer enablement or customer related services. And then if you go down, go up there, you can see that there's so many categories here, right? Owner is back. All stand up. Owner is here. Okay, anyway. So here, yeah. What I'm... Okay, let me mute. Okay. So, guys, saying it is based on a highway in US though. Route 53, exactly. So, blockchain. Blockchain, another emerging technology here that there are courses in colleges as well, and the whole cryptocurrency works on the concept of blockchain. I would recommend that you should go and check it out. What's the basic concept of blockchain? Then there's satellite ground station. You want to connect to some satellite, you pay for those services. So AWS is offering all kinds of commercial services. So a company, so normally you would see that AWS is acquired by all the large companies, by governments, by banks, insurance companies, hospitals, any large corporates. They first go for AWS because this is the most stable set of services the companies can buy. And then their backup is always Azure, right? For small to medium sized companies, it's always Azure first, and then their backup is Google Cloud. but that can change as well. A big company can have all three, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, and their critical workload could be on AWS, also on Azure, and maybe some on Google Cloud as well. So one company could have 3 or 4 types of cloud solutions. One company could have two, minimum two you would see in all large to medium sized companies, that they would have AWS and Azure, or AWS and Google Cloud. So there's always 2 or 3 cloud solutions every company has there, right? So now then there's quantum technologies, Amazon bracket. So these are all, so quantum computing, maybe you've heard about it. So that's really powerful computing there, but you have to purchase those services, or the commercial or the companies could do that. Management and governance, another important area where you see AWS organizations, CloudWatch. So AWS organization is that, suppose you have one user account with one credit card created, then a company says, hey, let's create another user account subscription with another credit card of the company, right? So you want to manage all the user accounts. So I have this one user account here. So I have just, okay, let me just put it on budgets or something else. So I have that one user account here, right? So suppose the companies buy such 5 or 6 user accounts. You want to maintain all those user accounts centrally, then you go for AWS organizations. CloudWatch is a one-stop monitoring service. So we're going to go in depth with CloudWatch. We're going to create alarms. We're going to create alerts there, email alerts for us for critical services. Then AWS auto scaling comes, and that's so cool. So AWS auto scaling is that So Father saying, when you say stable, how does that differentiate AWS from Azure? So well, that's another question, good question here, that when we say stable, so how do you really get to know what are the metrics that are there for stability? And you would just Google that downtime. So yearly downtime by AWS and Azure. So how many times there was the services were not available, for how long, by which cloud vendor? So when it comes to downtime, not all cloud providers are now this is from network world. It could be political as well. Microsoft may be all in on cloud computing, but Azure is having downtimes. So uptime and downtime, this is where, and uptime and reliability. Reliability also has a lot of factors there. If I go for some of these links there, just to go for reliability, so comparing the cloud giants, uptime and reliability. So it's all about then which services for how long were available, and choosing the right cloud service. So it goes for some of the outages that were recorded in previous years, and a survey done by cloud computing expert this showed that from 2018 to May 2019, Microsoft Azure had over 1934 hours of outage, compared to AWS and Google Cloud Platform, who recorded significantly fewer hours. Significantly few. So this is one big alarm bell here, that hey, okay, you had that much downtime last year's, and of the two that recorded fewer hours of outage, Amazon Web Services only registered 338 hours compared to 361 hours registered by Google Cloud. So you can see that here Azure has 1934 hours, 1934 compared to 338 hours per year. So that is big. So anyway, that would be our reliability. That would be the start of reliability factors there, right? So then there are hundreds of services each cloud service provider is offering, and you would want to then go for that. Hey, how long the DNS was down last year? Because DNS, you really depend. Your applications really depend on DNS. So how long AWS's DNS was down? How long Azure's DNS was down? How long the network of AWS and Azure were down comparably? So, but overall, that is a lot. Or you can just compare in 1 year, 1,000 nearly 2,000 hours of outage is not a very nice picture for Azure. right? Azure is expanding too fast, and their data center capacity and reliability, right? How much experts you put there, how much state-of-the-art equipment you put there, that they expand too fast, and they are having some reliability issues here, right? While AWS is the pioneer of this cloud services provider as we know it today, so they really planned it, and they were there at 2006. They started from there. 2006 they started offering, right? So they have a big experience. They have huge data centers, state-of-the-art technology, but reliability factor is the most with AWS, and still the biggest market share as well. So we get the idea that, and that's a very good question. So I'm just gonna put that link here as well in chat. You can go ahead and check it out, and I'm gonna put that reliability link here so you could see in LMS document as well when I upload it. And once you have access, you will see all these documentation. So how reliable are the CSPs or cloud services providers? Cloud services providers, and then yep, that's the link here. So very good question. And yes, you have to, when you're, suppose you're the cloud resource in your company, and they say that, hey, which cloud services I should go for, the boss asks you, so you need to go and check this out. But also the boss says, hey, we don't have a lot of unlimited budget here. So if it's very sensitive, they're very sensitive about the budget, go for Azure. And it's not a very large company, go for Azure. If it's a large company and budget may not be that big a issue, then go for AWS. But for reliability concerns, better AWS than Azure. Okay, but Azure, there are more jobs in GTA, Greater Toronto area, here in our area. More Azure jobs are there. Well, maybe more small to medium sized companies are here, but there are big companies here as well, right? So okay, let's go back to where we were. And in services, so I'm just gonna click that services here. And I was talking about then this CloudWatch. There's a monitoring service. Then there's AWS auto scaling, which is really cool service as well. And I've mentioned that before as well. This is AWS auto scaling in AWS is a scale set in Azure, right? So AWS auto scaling is that you have one virtual machine and there's a lot of traffic. If the traffic keeps on increasing, it will create another clone of that and distribute the traffic. It will create another clone of that and distribute it, and keep on creating other clones. So we're going to do that lab, and we're going to check it out, that does it really distribute or not. And then there is another cool feature that once the virtual machine is created here, then obviously you have to pay for that, because it's using the CPU, it's using the RAM, it's using the hard disk, and it's using the underlying hardware, right? So suppose you got 10 machines here, and they're all powered on. So, and the customers are gone now. Suppose the customers have slowly gone, and they are just not having enough traffic. So it will also delete your machine if you don't have enough traffic. It will start deleting the other machine. The factor could be the CPU. If the CPU goes above 70%, create a new machine. If the CPU goes below 70%, and actually below, suppose the downward trend is, suppose you see that you put that, if the CPU goes below 50%, then delete the machine. If it goes above 70%, then create a new machine. So this means that your money saving is the first aspect here that they're offering, that customers are more machines are created automatically. Customers are less, then machines slowly are deleted automatically. So that's a really cool feature that AWS auto scaling offers, and that is called scale set in Azure. That is called auto scaling in Google Cloud. So Google Cloud has many same terminologies that AWS has, right? So I'm gonna print screen this, and I'll put this screenshot here. So you will get it in the document that I will upload in LMS. So those who don't have LMS access, just let me know, and I will, if you have created the account, just give me that account user or full name. Just give me your full name that you have put there in LMS, and I'll add you there. So anyway, I'm just going to go back here, and there is, oh, So Ali has spammed the whole article here on. Okay. Sorry, even I added my credit card. Ask me below. Your service sign up is almost complete. Thanks for signing up with Amazon Web Services. I'm just reading the chat here, guys. Your services may take up to 24 hours to fully activate. Okay. So, and they will transfer $1 to your account to check that is that the correct account that you put there. So they do that, Ali. They do that. So just wait for 24 hours, and they will send you, or maybe 1 week actually. They will send you $1 to your account, and you will be $1 richer after that. So that is just to test that is that your bank account or not, right? So it's okay. So they do that all the time. Okay, so and oh, what happened here? Yeah. So, but VPC and other services not available. Ouch. So VPC and other services are not available. Did you create a free tier account that is personal or business? Is there any separate subscription for AWS auto scaling when you sign up with AWS? Separate subscription? Oh, Wakash, you don't see, guys. Do we all see this auto scaling here under management and governance? Guys, do we all see auto scaling under management and governance? How many are seeing or how many are not seeing this here in management and governance auto scaling? So, Mama, Dimani, Usman, Snark, AWS, they're all seeing that. So, who are not seeing, guys? AWS and Ali, you're not seeing that? Okay, Ali and Ahmed are also able to see that. Fahad is, oh, everyone is seeing, right? So why did I even ask that? Because it's supposed to be here. So Wakas, are you not able to see that? Because there is no separate subscription for that. It's just that free tier account, that's it. I do see, but my question is, if you have a lot of traffic, it goes on auto scaling and you do not pay extra. No, whatever hardware, underlying hardware we use, we're gonna be paying for that, and there's no other subscription that is offering some kind of deals in auto scaling. So that's it. I mean, that's just one of the hundreds of services there. So AWS auto scaling, yeah, there's no separate subscription for that, Wakas. So it's just along the package, and you click that, you purchase that service, and then go ahead and start using it.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sorry, I just discovered why they charge $65 because still I had VPC and I haven't deleted.
Oh,
So it's
the VPC
yeah,
is still there
so
for how long?
yeah, it's still and then for since I graduated from college, and
1 week ago?
also I have VDI virtual desktop infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used before, and I it still also is available now. Just now I deleted. That is why they charge $65.
Is
Yeah.
it still free tier, or your free tier is expired?
Yeah, free tier, free tier.
Then you're okay. Cool.
Yeah.
But it's good that you try to know why, and that's very good. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, guys. So, okay. So, yeah, that's one thing. And Wakas is asking, it's for real environment. Yeah. So, Wakas, real environment would be the only difference between real environment and our environment is where we went for billing dashboard and it was saying free tier. So the rest is exactly okay, and the real environment will exactly be like that. How much your virtual machine has used in terms of CPU, RAM, and SSD, it's going to charge only that, and there is no separate package for that unless we talk to the support. It is exactly the same in free tier. Free tier, it's just that for a few hours they will not charge, and after that in commercial they will start charging right away. So and it's certain cents per hour. That's how they charge, 0.008392 cents, something like that per hour, right? So it's exactly the same there, how we're seeing here, but we will have some initial cents spared. Okay, so guys, here management and governance. So auto scaling is a really cool feature. We're gonna all try that. We're gonna create one virtual machine, then we're going to increase the CPU limit, and as soon as CPU goes above whatever threshold we give, it's going to create one more virtual machine, then another virtual machine, then another virtual machine, and you're going to see that it works like a magic. So cloud formation, that is another wow service. When I say wow, what does that really mean? So wow service means that this is really in demand, and that's one of the automation services that are there. So cloud formation is related to automation. Okay, what do you mean by automation? So you can automate certain processes there that you were manually handling every day, right? So first of all, it is called infrastructure. Seriously, that's another long word. Infra. I'm writing with mouse. I'm using mouse as a pen. Seriously, what's wrong with my English? Structure. Infrastructure. Structure. Infrastructure as a code. That's what it is. Infrastructure as a code. What does that mean? You can create infrastructure with a line of code. So the first line, suppose, is create a VPC. Second line says create two subnets, one public, one private. Third line says create 10 virtual machines. Fourth line says create two databases. And then fifth line says create load balancer with them and load balance the whole traffic. So with this code, when you run that code, it creates all those separate storage, the databases, the EC2 instances, the virtual machines. It just creates all those with the code. So that is what cloud formation is. And the world is going towards this. World is going towards this DevOps, right? And DevOps is all the world is really right now. If you are going for some bigger jobs, it's all about automation, right? So obviously you have to first learn the inside out of the actual infrastructure, then you're going to automate what you already know, right? So don't start directly with automation without even knowing the actual services, how do they basically work, right? So that's why once you are good with all these services according to the exam objectives, then go for this dude here, automation. So many job announcements. I keep looking at new jobs there because so many students ask. I also give interviews just to know what's going on. Or so the thing is that they are two things are really really critical: automation and second is security. So once you know cloud real inside out, then the two things that you need to go for and cover in your resume and in your skills basically, that can you do automation and can you cover security, right? These two are then the most important ones afterwards, right? So make sure that you're good with automation and that you're good with security here, right? Okay, now what we need to understand here is that okay, I'll just print screen that, and this is a diagram that I'm gonna upload to LMS after copying it in the document. So do get enrolled to the LMS learning management system that I already put there, this one, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna go for so cloud formation. CloudTrail is just for creating more detailed diagnostic log files, but you would need a storage account for that. Config, again for automation. OpsWorks, and then it goes on with all the other services. But what I explain, whatever services I explain are actually coming in the exam, or they're part of the exam objectives. So then there are lots and lots and lots of services. There's that AWS chatbot as well. You can create chatbots there. Suppose you go to any site, there's on the right bottom some screen comes up and, hey, may I help you? So that's a chatbot that's talking to you, and then that chatbot connects you to some actual sales representative or some support representative, right? So there are these guys. Now, not guys, these are the technologies or services that are offered under the management and governance. And then and then so what we're going to check out here, then there is a category for media services, and that is your live streaming there, and media live, media package, media store, media tailor. So all the audio video from the companies that are created, and the live streaming kinesis live streaming going on. So it's all about that how can it be offered on very large basis. Suppose you have intercontinental, you're offering services in offices in Europe and in North America and in Asia. So how would you offer those services there? Then there's machine learning, and that is where your programming skills again come, and you're going for, suppose you're going for Alexa, and that is you can just go for voice activation, that Alexa, turn on the TV, or Alexa, what is the weather? So you must have heard that already, right? So, or Alexa, make me a tea, or Alexa, bring grocery for me, right? So all that you can do as well. Not. Okay. So anyway, machine learning is, you can see so many services in machine learning now, and there are new certifications that have arrived for machine learning, that you can teach the machines how to do stuff, and they will do it for you until the machines take over, just like in movies. And then you will be fighting the machines in Terminator 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kidding. Okay, so yeah, there. And then we go ahead, go on the top here. Analytics category there. Athena, EMR, Cloud Search, Elasticsearch Service, Kinesis. So that's analyzing that what is the performance of all the other services that you're running now. So some analysis related applications should be there that should tell you that, okay, your 200 virtual machines are good, they're running fine, or 50 of the virtual machines out of 200 are actually not getting, or last year from May till June, out of 2000 machines, there were 500 machines during those times, daytimes, they were not performing well. So you would see the analytics for last year, last decade, and so there's one question here, guys. Obviously, majority of you may not know that, but how many virtual machines or EC2 instances you can create in AWS? How many EC2 instances or virtual machines you can create in AWS? What is the maximum limit per region you can create? So Mohammed Jaffrey says unlimited. So anyone else? 100,000. Hey, how do you know that, Arslan? That's not fair. You just popped it up already. I wanted to play with people, right? 20 virtual machines. There you go. So 100,000 is the number, guys. 100,000 virtual machines per region you can create in EC2. When you're creating virtual machines, you can create 100,000 virtual machines or EC2 instances. Let's stick to the terminology. Now, after this, I'm just going to talk about, what am I talking about? Region. What is region? What is availability zone? What is data centers? How am I, how are we distributing that? So we're going to talk about that after introduction to the services. But analytics is that category where you analyze all the other services. And then comes our most favorite, and that is security, identity, and compliance. Okay, so this is where we start. IAM, and that is identity and access management. So how to create users, how to create groups, how to create permissions, how to give permissions, how to give roles, assign roles, and lots of other things as well. So IAM is, that's where you can create users and groups. So resource access manager, and that is what resources are you accessing. So it's just centralizing your knowledge of resources, but there are so many other services here. Cognito, secrets manager, guard duty. These are all security features there. Amazon Macy, AWS single sign-on, certificate manager. So AWS is also a CA. Anyone knows what's a CA? Anyone knows what's a CA?
Certificate authority.
Certificate authority, exactly. Google says doesn't make sense. 20 instances, yeah. Oh, okay, Faz is saying 20 instances. No. Owner to. I'm gonna prove that it creates 100,000. Well, not by creating 100,000, but okay. Um, on the chat, I'm just responding to chat as well. So um, Arslan is asking in chat, what exactly cloud computing means. So cloud computing means that you're doing computing in the cloud. See, so simple. Okay, just kidding. So what it means is that what is compute and what is cloud. So we can just check that. So cloud is somebody else's data center, some other company, others data center, right? Data center. So we're gonna talk about that was the next thing that I was gonna talk about. So others data center, which means Amazon has data centers in every continent and in every country, or well, majority of the countries it has data centers, and each data center has from 100,000 servers to 300,000 servers there, right? And we connect to our nearest data center, and then we create virtual machines, VMs, right? We create storage accounts or folders to upload files and folders, and we create networks, so we can create our private networks there, right? We create databases there, and we see all the services. But all we need is one internet connection, and we remotely connect to their account. Right now, we are connected to their AWS's data center, one of the data centers, and that's where we are checking these services. We're connected to one of their data centers. So compute would be that what kind of underlying hardware resources are you using. So you're using their compute in terms of CPU, you're using your compute in terms of RAM, you're using their compute in terms of IOPS. Anyone knows what's an IOPS and what exactly it is? First of all, the abbreviation, and then what is. Oh, can you please all post the questions in everyone? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, owner or Arslan, you're asking question privately right now, so you can select the everyone on the top, and then you can check that input and output per second. So she was saying input output per second for IOPS, and input output data per second we can say as well. And this is the read and write on the disk. So suppose that's a disk. So how much you're writing on this, when you save anything, it writes on that. How much you're reading, suppose you're doing a search or you're opening a software, you're reading from it, right? So read and write of a disk. So that is all called compute here, right? So you're using the underlying hardware, and then also the bandwidth. So what bandwidth are you using? So this is all compute, but basically compute goes down to CPU, RAM, and hard disk. So cloud computing just means that we're connecting to Amazon's data center and using their hardware to create our virtual resources like virtual machines, storage, networking, and database. So cloud computing is you're remotely connecting to somebody else's data center. Microsoft data center would be Azure, AWS data center, Amazon's data center is AWS, Google's data center will be Google Cloud, and Oracle's data centers, Oracle Cloud. So cloud compute, just using remotely connecting to their data center and using their hardware, is called cloud compute, right? Print screen, and I'll just put that picture here to give you in MS Word later. Okay, so we were talking about we were talking about then security, identity, and compliance, and there all the security features are there. Then we were talking about certificate manager, CA, that provides certificate. Certificate does two things. Certificate does two things: authentication, encryption. Well, it does a bit more than that too, but authentication and encryption. So nowadays security is the top priority after you know everything else, and automation. So keep in mind two things: automation and security. If you want to get a job sooner, try to go for that. Now I'm trying to create a course for Terraform and Ansible and all those automation tools that are really in the market nowadays. So, okay, so these are all security related. Windows, it's firewall. It's not Windows. It's a web application firewall, WAF, and Shield. Directory services. You can have Active Directory created. We're going to be doing that actually. Active Directory created in your AWS as well. AWS Firewall Manager, Artifact, Security Hub, Detective. So these are all the services for security and authentication, authorization, and accounting, right? Okay, so yeah, so when the automation related courses, I will definitely let you know. And okay, so mobile here, thank you. And AWS Amplify, Mobile Hub, AWS App Sync, and Device Form. So this is just we're gonna be going for fewer services here according to the exam objectives. I'm just giving you a full introduction of what AWS is overall offering and all the categories that you can see. We're not going to go through all these services. We're going to go through step by step. We're going to take actually baby steps to go ahead and understand the environment, and then we're going to go faster, 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 because it's going to get a bit more complicated. But if you have if you've done MCSA, if you have done VMware, then this would be very easy for you. If you have done MCSA, VMware, or if you're technical, that's it, right? So if you're technical, you can resolve some of your computer issues, then this will not be a big deal for you. Okay, anyway, but you have to know and go through certain services to know all this, right? So that's where it's all about. So it's not that easy, but it's not that very difficult as well. Okay, so mobile services are there. You want to go for MDM, which is mobile device management. So some of the services are there, but that's not really the ideal software for handling your remotely handling and managing your mobile services that are through mobile services. People are connecting to your company software, to your company resources, so you have to make sure that they are securely connecting through cell phones. Then there's AR, VR, that's virtual reality and augmented reality, and those devices that are you put a big glasses there, and then you can see in front of you a total virtual reality, and you even feel that what's going on in the glasses, right? Okay, so Arsan is asking in the chat, sir, is this the only way to connect to AWS interface? No, there are other ways as well. AWS, this is the GUI or graphical user interface. Then you can connect from CLI, command line interface as well. And you can connect through applications as well, Arslan, right? So, okay, guys, we're going to go down to application integration, and that's where, if you're a developer, you can go for that. But we're going to cover from here SNS, which is simple notification service. So you can give 100,000 SMS and emails combined in, I think, $1 or $2 per month for companies. So that's a lot of SMS and emails. That's why you get free SMS services from everywhere, because it's so cheap. Simple queue service. So a simple notification service is just going to notify you. Suppose your virtual machine is down and you connect your alarms to your email, so, and through your SMS, the alert SMS alert should come to your cell phone that, hey, your virtual machine, that is critical one, that is down, wake up, wake up. So that will all come from this SNS service here, right? So we're gonna cover this service because this is an exam objective as well. And then simple queue service, and then SWF, simple workflow. So we're gonna cover all those in this exam objective. AWS cost management, then that's really important, because you're not only the technical AWS resource there, you're the accountant there as well, right? Because you're going to be, when you're recommending boss, we should go for 2 networks and 50 subnets inside that network in VPC, virtual private cloud, and we're going to have 4 databases there, and we're going to have some storage accounts here, and we're going to have 10 virtual machines here. So the boss says, okay, that's very good. Since you are the main resource of AWS here in our company, so how much all of this will cost? Then you're like, okay, sorry. I mean, you will do this in the company, or you would have gone to Cost Explorer and you would have put, okay, 10 virtual machines. And each virtual machine will have 16 core processor and 32 GB RAM and 20 hard disk SSD, and bandwidth would be this, 2 network cards. So how much would this cost me per hour, per month? So it's gonna give you the whole cost of whatever you're about to select. About to. So that's a really cool thing, right? Companies must know that what's coming at the end of the month in terms of charges. So you need to know that, right? Okay, so on the chat, there's questions. Ali's asking, sorry, Amir, two things: how add MFA and how to know my account is personal. MFA is an upcoming lab, so we're gonna do that. But my account is personal or business. So yeah, you can again, Ali, you can go to this billing dashboard and billing preferences, payment methods, consolidated. I think when you go to billing preferences, first of all, it is, do you see free tier? Because if you chose personal, it's free tier for that. It's not, well, actually, business and personal. Again, throughout these options, we have to select. And hey, wasn't it a simple process of filling up a form? Okay, just kidding. Now, is it business or is it personal? That's so yeah, that's another set of questions that I'm facing here. So this means that payment methods, preferences, credit cards, orders and invoices. Is it business or is it personal? Hopefully it is personal, but if it is business, I have to actually check myself, or better go for support and create a ticket for that, or spend 15-20 minutes here in this area in billing dashboard, and then check that is it business or personal, because I have to check that too when I'm creating that. So yeah, in the break or at the end of the class, we'll check that. And second thing, Arslan is saying, for the Architect Associate certification point of view, are we going to connect all this, and can you tell what it includes? Are we connect all this? Yes, Arslan, we're going to be connecting to not all these services, but few of these services according to the exam objectives, right? So I'm going to be lining up those services in that document that I'm going to upload in LMS, Learning Management System. So we're just going to follow and do those services according to what the exam objectives. But this is just introduction to all the categories here. Yeah. So what services are going to come in the exam? Yes, I'll be mentioning that in a separate document that is upcoming. So I'll be telling that. So right now I'm just trying to finish the introduction here. So so we talked about that. There's security, identity, and compliance, very important category here. And then there is application integration, and that is for you can integrate this simple notification service to your virtual machine service. You can integrate this messaging and email services to your database services. And then cost management, we talked about that. Customer engagement. So there is customer enablement, and then there is customer engagement as well. Both are customer side services that you can simply deal with customers by offering some opening some applications that have ticketing systems, as well as customer surveys there. So all these business applications: Alexa for business, Amazon Chime, and Workmail. So if you want to go for some email services there by AWS, better go for professional email services from Microsoft, Exchange Online from Office 365 instead of this for emailing, right? And we go up to the final line here: end user computing, workspaces, AppStream, WorkDocs. So the end users can use these services. These are for administrators. All the other services, this is for end user that you can go for. You can offer, like MS Office. You can offer that as a link, and those links or any third-party application that you can offer here for AppStream, WorkDocs, WorkLink here, or OpenOffice. That's another one that they can offer. But this is for end users, that you can offer some small applications or common applications there, right? Do we have, so Ali's asking, do we have SAP as an application here? Well, SAP would not be. AppStream normally connects you to the main applications, but you have to have the licenses for those applications first, and then you connect through AppStream those third-party applications to your customers, right? So it's not directly. going to be here, but you can connect through some of the services. And then Internet of Things here. So IoT, this is also becoming very famous now. And IoT is that every machine that we see around us will have an IP address. Even we ourselves might one day have an IP address as well. And what IoT does also is that maybe your refrigerator, your microwave will have IP addresses, and you can remotely connect to those from a central dashboard, and then turn it on or keep them off, or you can even tell your refrigerator, hey refrigerator, while you're on your sofa, you can tell the refrigerator from a click of a button that come to me, and then or the refrigerator will come to you and go very near to you, and then you will open the door and you will take out things, and then in the dashboard you will tell, hey refrigerator, go back, and it will go back. So I'm just kidding here. Maybe it will happen one day. So anyway, so the thing is that IoT is that every machine will have an IP address. So maybe we will also have IP address, and then you can control me that, okay, go up there, go down here. Okay, so game development, and that is game lift, and that is for you can have gaming servers there as well, and some development environment for gaming. And containers. Okay, Ali has another question here. If we want to connect to my network from AWS to your account with VPN site to site, is the same the network configuration on premises? So the configuration is there are a few steps for that. Yes. So what Ali is asking that if you have to connect from your suppose this is your branch here, and this is AWS here in the cloud through the internet to their data centers. So from your company, you will have a VPN client here, and you will have to configure on AWS side the VPN gateway. So VPN gateway, and then this gateway here, so you can just connect from VPN client to gateway. But yes, there are some steps there. Yes, you can connect, but yes, you have to know how to configure a VPN gateway here and how to configure a VPN client here, and then yes, you can easily connect there. There's a procedural there's a procedure there, and you have to follow that procedure, and yes, you can do that. So can we do that? Yes, we can do that. There's a point to site VPN, there's a site to site VPN. So this can be site to site VPN, and there could be another AWS that you're connecting through VPN as well. So you can do that too, AWS subscription, and from your branch or even from your home, you're connecting through VPN securely instead of the browser. Then you can do that. That is called point to site VPN, right? Yes. So Ali, yes, AWS to AWS, yes, you can use VPN. When we go cross region, yes, we can do that. And what is region? What is availability zone? What is data centers? We're gonna be talking about that very soon. Okay. So I'm just gonna put that print screen and this diagram as well. So I'll be putting that at the end of the class to the document. So guys, we're talking about then the final category here on AWS from 100 plus services here. This is containers, and that container service. Seriously? Okay. Wow. Selection system is not that good. Okay. So yes, I did it. Okay. So containers or Elastic Container Registry, Elastic Container Service, Elastic Kubernetes Service. So Elastic Kubernetes Services, or Kubernetes, you will see that, or Kubernetes, however you want to spell that. But this is about container is providing specific application environment that virtual machine is not providing. So in the first class, I may have also mentioned that. So there's that EC2 instance there, and EC2 instance, you can have an OS inside, and then you can have an app inside. But you on that EC2 instance, or what is EC2 instance? EC2 instance is a hard disk, right? EC2 is a hard disk. Is that correct? Is it right? Is it wrong? So EC2 is a hard disk. Is that correct? It's a VM. Exactly. So EC2 is a virtual machine. Now, on that virtual machine you can have one OS and one app, right? Maybe two apps. Maybe it's WinZip and there's 7-zip. Yes, they can install. But what about those apps that do not tolerate another big app, so especially the bigger app? So then you go for containers, and containers have a specific environment for one app, specific environment for another app, specific environment for a third app, and it has its all the files and dependencies are made available to all the containers here, and you can have one container on virtual machine, second container on virtual machine, third container on virtual machine. So it's getting really popular. So is EC2 or not the servers? Yes, EC2 is a virtual machine. Inside the virtual machine you can create operating system, you can install operating system and app. So yes, it can be a server. Arslan, it is a server. We're talking about EC2 instance as a virtual machine or as a server. Yes. So but containers have app specific environment, and you can have 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you have suppose 3 containers in a EC2 instance or a virtual machine, this means that one big application is installed, and the second container has a second application that is installed, third container has a third application that is installed, right? So these are those applications that would not have installed if they were installed without any containers. So the thing is that if you did not have containers and you wanted to install the application, 3 applications here, you would not have. The first application would be installed. The second application, when you're installing, it would ask, hey, can you remove those files? And when you investigate, those files belong to the first application that you cannot remove. So, but with containers, you can have all those specific applications added in the same virtual machine as well, or just Arsan is asking, have the data centers are servers and have servers, then EC2 should be servers. So yeah, data center has hardware servers, and these are virtual servers. So both are servers because they have server operating system. Virtual machine has server operating system, but yeah, data center would have hardware servers. On top of that, there will be virtual servers. Okay, so guys, we understand that the containers would be offering specific application, a specific environment, and with the help of container, you can have many different applications installed on the same platform that would otherwise not be able to install there. Otherwise, we would not be able to install those, right? Okay, so what's going on here is that we have covered the main categories
Yes,
here.
sorry, Professor. Yes, could you talk about the break? You have break? How many break you have or something like that? Can you know?
Sorry, again, what you're saying?
The break.
Oh, break. Yeah, that's what I was about to say here. So yes, let's take a break, guys. It's 8 o'clock. We're gonna have a small break of 5 to 7 minutes at 9 as well. So this break, normally there's a 20-minute break, but we're gonna divide it among 15-minute break now and 5 to 7 minutes break at 9:05, right? So
Yeah.
okay, so we're gonna have 2 breaks. So let's just take the first break, and that is 15-minute break. So
15 minutes, huh?
1-5. So exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, resuming now, and what we were talking about was the services of AWS, and we have talked about the categories of services. So we're going to go for a few of those services there that will let us go for the exam, and certification is really important for that. So again, the rules of any course here would be that you understand very well what's going on. Second thing is repeat labs, and that goes on as I have said before as well. Repeat labs, right? That boosts your confidence, and get certified as soon as possible, ASAP. So that is the three action items that you have to concentrate on, and give your 200% now so you could enjoy the rest of your life. That's the fourth message I would give. Give your 200%. So really work hard, effort on this course now, and enjoy the rest of your life, because once you get in a good job, or once you get into the right job, even if it's low paying at the start, then it's just that you keep on going after that, right, to the better jobs in that field. So you just have to determine that what side you're going, and then so I'll be creating some tickets here. Take assignments slash tickets. You resolve it, it's your benefit. You don't resolve it, it's your loss. But I'm going to be following up with you that you can resolve all those tickets as I give you. You will have enough time. So let's go ahead and continue with what we were doing now about the infrastructure. So about the AWS infrastructure. And AWS infrastructure would be that there are regions, and then there are, so I'll put those regions, and then there are availability zones, and then there are data centers. So what are how are they dividing this? So data centers, and for that we need to go to, so open another tab in your Google or any browser. Open another tab and type there infrastructure.aws, right? So go ahead and create a go to browser. So open this URL in your browser, right? Open URL in your browser. So infrastructure.aws, right? So what you need to do here is that I'm just going to go there now, and I'll just click that. I did open another link here, and that was for that's also 2019, and wow, since forget it. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go for infrastructure.aws. Okay, there it is. So once you go to infrastructure.aws, so this comes, the planet comes right in front of you. So then there is that the most extensive, reliable, and secure global cloud infrastructure available. And then let's click that, show, see how we do it. So see how we do it. So how the AWS really works. And you can see that there's that full globe showing here. And they're saying swipe to rotate, pinch to zoom, and scroll to zoom as well. So anyway, so we can just rotate that, and let's keep doing that for till 10 o'clock, the class time ends, right? Because it's so much fun, right? So see this? Cool. Okay, anyway, so just kidding. And let's go for where we are right now, and where we are, right? So here, we are here in North America. So first of all, on the left side you can see here global infrastructure, and then you see regions. This one, regions, right? So if you click regions here, right, regions, go ahead and click that. So once you click that, so on the right side it just appears. So to support its one more time, how to access this page I missed. Somebody's watching CP24 and CTV News, I guess, or the football match, or the basketball. Okay, so here, yeah. So guys, there's that link here, infrastructure.aws, and please click that, and then a globe will come towards you. Don't be afraid of that. Don't scream when it comes towards you, right? And oh, what did I do? Okay. And then just click this button. See how we do it, right? This one. Yay! So then, let's click the regions now. Just click the regions. And once you click the regions, so on the right side it says here, to support its global footprint and ensure customers are served across the world, AWS maintains multiple geographic regions, including North America, South America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Unlike other cloud providers who define a region as a single data center, at AWS, regions consist of multiple availability zones, each of which is a fully isolated partition of the AWS infrastructure that consists of discrete data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity housed in separate facilities. Every AWS region has at least two availability zones, most have three, including all new regions, and several have as many as six regions availability zones. Regions are connected to the global network with a 100 Gbps intercontinental network. So, okay, in English, let's talk about it, because what I read was like, huh? What? Really? What are you talking about? So it's right in front of us, right? So, but what does it mean? So then, yeah, let's go and talk about it in English now. So okay, paintbrush, and that's the most sophisticated, latest, advanced application that I use. It's MS Paintbrush. Okay, so well, what happens here is that you would have a physical area. So a region would be a physical area. Hey, what am I writing here when I have one note here? Okay, so there's the regions, and a region would be a big physical area. So we can say a large physical area, and then within. So this is considered region. So what would be the region? It's a collection of availability zones, and it's a collection of availability zones and data centers. So when we click the regions here, and there's that region here. Suppose we go for, actually I'm going to go for North America here, and in North America we're going to be always, throughout the course, we're going to be connecting to North Virginia region. Throughout the course we will always be connected to North Virginia region, right? So understand that. So if I go down to North Virginia region, because I am just scrolling there, if you're seeing those on tablet, then you can just do from hands. So you can see that there are lots of ants going on up and down. Okay, just kidding. So yeah, it's not ants, it's just data. So you can see that within this area of North Virginia here, there is one availability zone, and there is an other availability zone. So what is an availability zone? It's smaller physical areas that are slightly isolated with an other availability zone. So what is that anyway? So it's a physical area where you have collection of data centers. So each availability zone will have 2 to 8 data centers, and each data center will have 100,000 up to 300,000 servers, physical servers, right? So this is a whole region that could be a lot of hundreds of kilometers of region here, and then within this region you will have two availability zones side by side. This could be, Greater Toronto area here, 16 to 20 kilometers of area, or maybe 20 to 30 kilometers of area, and that could be Niagara region there, Niagara Falls related area, that could be 20 to 30 kilometers there. Host in each region, host in each region. No, they don't host sorry there, they host servers. Oh, okay. How many? Okay, so yeah, first of all, what is a region? So there is North Virginia region, that is a big physical area, that's it. The second thing is there are availability zones. So let me just write that first, and then come back here. So a large physical area, then availability zones, smaller isolated physical destination, physical areas, right? So there could be 2 to 6 availability zones in a region, right? And where would they put the region? Wherever there is a lot of companies, big companies, infrastructure is there, they would put a region there. What is a region? Region is just a collection of data centers, right? That's a big collection of data centers in a specific area, right? How Ashraf is asking how to change a region. Fahad is asking what is blue, yellow, and pink circles. Yeah, I'm going to be going there. And Ali is asking, sorry, host in each region. Yeah. So, guys, I haven't finished with this. So, let me just go ahead because some of your questions answers are actually coming, right? So, how can I change the region and what are dots? So, definitely, I'm going to tell all that. So, there could be 2 to 6 availability zones in a region. First, let's understand that. And there can be 2 to 8 data centers in each availability zone, right? And each data center can have from 100,000 physical servers up to 300,000 servers, right? So, and that is how big it goes with each data centers. So again, region is a large physical area. Normally, they create a region where there is a lot of business going on. So business hubs, you can say. North Virginia has what? It has nearby New York, and then it has Washington D.C. Right? So those are business hubs there, and then it also depends on what kind of area is there. The property is expensive or not. So nearest to any business hub, big business hub where all the large companies are there, and then they would create a physical region there, or region there. Availability zones would be smaller isolated areas. Suppose Greater Toronto area, it's Toronto, Mississauga, it's and North York, and all these combined could be one availability zone where there are data centers side by side, or not side by side, like few kilometers apart. There are data centers there. So availability zones would be smaller, isolated physical areas, and there could be 2 to 6 availability zones in a region, and then there could be can be 2 to 8 data centers in each availability zone, and each data center can have from 100,000 to 300,000 physical servers. Now let's get back to that diagram and answer or discuss those questions here. Now, first of all, if I just scroll back here, oh, now it's not scrolling up. Oh, okay, it is. So you can see that within this east coast of US and Canada, right? You can see there's a region called North Virginia. Then there's a region called Ohio. Then there is US government cloud US East, and then there's Canada Central region, right? So right above the east coast of US, there in Canada, it's Central Canada, which is Ontario and Quebec provinces there. So and then if I go again inside, now what are those blue dots? Blue dots are availability zones. It's on the left side here written, and these availability zones have data centers there. So if I go for okay, so Ali says all data centers managed by third party and AWS rent them. No. These are all owned, invested by AWS itself, and we all rent AWS's data centers, and we all rent AWS's physical servers for our virtual machines and network and storage, right? So if I go and start creating some more on top of what is already there, if I'll start doing the annotation here. So in my case, the dots will stop moving because I have started a drawing application that stops anything else here. So don't worry if the dots in my case are not moving. So this whole area is a region, and this is one availability zone in North Virginia region. This is another availability zone, then third availability zone, fourth availability zone, sixth and fifth availability zone. Why they are sitting together? Now in each availability zone there is one data center, second data center, third data center, fourth data center, fifth data center, sixth data center, seventh data center. Then there is another data center. Each data center is so big that they have 100,000 to 300,000 servers. So these are all data centers side by side. So you can imagine that how big the availability zone would be. And I'm giving an example already that it could be like your capital city, where whichever country you are in right now. We are in Toronto, so it could be the whole Greater Toronto area could be one availability zone. Greater Ottawa area could be another availability zone. Greater, Niagara City could be another availability zone. So the thing is, first you see that, hey, two availability zones which have 2 to 8 data centers each. You can see the distance that now these two are a bit nearer to each other, and these two are nearer to each other, and these two are near to each other. Why? If you have one virtual machine here, VM, EC2 instance here, one virtual machine, so its partner machine will be here on the other availability zone. Let me change the color here. So I would color yellow. I guess yellow will work. So there is one virtual machine in this availability zone, right? And that is one virtual machine. Now that is an active virtual machine here. So the other availability zone has to be nearby, so you can create your passive virtual machine or standby virtual machine here, right? So that VM here and EC2 instance here and that EC2 instance here could be the passive virtual machine. So if there's an outage on the availability zone level, the whole availability zone is gone, there is an outage there, so your customers who are connecting here will be redirected to the second availability zone here, right? So that is the purpose of the two availability zones being very near to each other, right? So but you can see that there are data centers inside. Suppose you don't want to spend money, so you will create one virtual machine in one data center here in one availability zone, and the other virtual machine in another data center. So if the virtual machine is in one data center, but you do not go outside of availability zone, you just want to stay inside one availability zone, obviously it will be cheaper, right? AZ1 suppose, and this is AZ2, availability zone 2, then AZ3, AZ4, AZ5, AZ6, 3, AZ4, right? So if there's a virtual machine, if you want to go cheap, you can go for one availability zone. So within one data center, you have one virtual machine here, one EC2 instance, and the other data center you have another virtual machine. So if one data center goes down, there's an outage there, so your traffic will be redirected to the other virtual machine in the other data center. But if the whole availability zone goes down, then you are sitting back, you sit back and enjoy the show, right? So exactly, Usman is asking there, distance really matters? Exactly, that's the main point. Distance matters a lot. So you can see that there's two availability zones here, because whatever active virtual machine or whatever active data you have here. Now what is active? Active means whichever virtual machine is active, whichever data is active, that's where the end users connect. So active virtual machine is in one availability zone, and its passive machine is in another availability zone. So they have to be nearby, so the synchronization could occur, right? So that is asynchronization actually will occur over the WAN. But if they are nearby, you can have a lease line that is dug out from one availability zone to another availability zone. And they have done this a lot, that they have very, very fast network between the two availability zones. They have very fast network, and between the data centers within the availability zone, even faster networks. Why? They want to offer disaster recovery, DR. They want to offer high availability, and that is HA, and they want to offer fault tolerance, that is FT. So for that, you have to have two availability zones nearby with very fast network. So active machines and active data could be on one, and the passive or standby virtual machine or data could be on the other. If one goes down, the other one could keep the show running, right? So that's why you can see that there's a set of two availability zones together, then two availability zones together, then two availability zones together, right? It's together means they are like few, it could be few kilometers or few hundred kilometers apart, it could be, right? And then within one data center availability zone, you have one data center, two data centers, they could be few kilometers apart, right? So third data center, one data center is in Toronto, second data center is in Mississauga, which is right beside Toronto, right? Third data center maybe in Ajax, which is also right beside Toronto, right? So twin cities just like that. So you can see that if the distance is low, less, then you will have all kinds of redundancy, fault tolerance, high availability features that you can offer, right? So that's why they have. And then what is these ants going on? These are not ants. This is just the data flow, and that's how they have put their networks. That's how their lease lines are working. Either they have dug out lease lines under the ground and they are going to other data centers, or they have connected to the nearest ISPs, which is providing real fast network, and that ISP is connecting to internet service provider that is connecting to other availability zones or data centers there. Okay, if I go back to the question, because I'm gonna come back and we're gonna go to this availability zone, then we're gonna go to local zone, then we're gonna go to points of presence here and network, right? So distance really matters. Yes, that's one. And second thing is, Arslan is saying, can they will be in same availability zone? Yes. Data centers, there are 2 to 8 data centers in each availability zone. Some availability zones has 2 data centers, some has 6 data centers, some has 5 data centers, some has 4 data centers, so it's different, right? And when we talk about data centers here, so we can just go for AWS data center locations, not locations, the AWS data center itself. So if we go for AWS data centers and go for images here, so then you would see, just like any typical data center, you would see that rows and rows of servers there, and those are state of the art, and they have huge, like they have spent billions of dollars on that. If we go for that, so this is a typical data center here that is underground. There's a big area, and you can see there, these are typical data centers of Amazon that are there, and these are data centers. These are just dedicated buildings with all the long rows of servers and state-of-the-art security there, and redundant power supplies, redundant networking there. So you can just see that, and then you can see the cables, submarine cables that are connecting to each data centers. So they do show all this to the customers as well. Inside, that's how it looks like. You can see racks and racks and racks, and each rack has servers after servers after servers after servers. So any typical data center that you would have seen before, that's how it looks like, right? So that would be a typical data center from inside, having 100,000 to 200,000 up to 300,000 servers, right? So that would be typical Amazon data centers there. And how much they are spending on data centers, that's also going up, and up. Spending on data center hardware and software, so that is Q1 to Q3. That's in billions, actually. Yeah, but they do spend a lot on infrastructure. Okay, so someone cut the cables. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. No, they are actually. So that's a very good imagination, Ali. No. Somebody's putting the cables. Let's be positive, right? Why are you being negative here? So they didn't cut the cables. They're installing new cables. So okay. So what is POP? And because it's very, it's summer here, and it's we really need POP here. So it's Pepsi, point of presence. Oh, okay. So I'm just kidding. Yeah. So it's a point of presence here. Let's go back there, guys, and check out our rest of the infrastructure there. So these ants are making me dizzy, and I'm about to say that, oh, I'm in your power now. Okay. Anyway, so you can see on the left side there's availability zone. Let's click that availability zone, right? So you can see on the top here, availability zone. Because are they safe from any kind of outside attack? Yes, because yeah, the security is one of the main features, because um, you would have they have government, U.S. government. See this, U.S. government is written there, Gov U.S. East. So U.S. government machines and software is there, banks software and applications are there, and then they have military, even DoD, Department of Defense. Their critical applications are hosted on Amazon and Azure and Google Cloud infrastructure data centers. So that's why they better be secure if they want to grab any billion-dollar businesses. So yes, they are really, really secure. And there are many videos. If you go for security of data centers of AWS, just YouTube it, and you will see that they go in depth with telling that how secure they are. So guys, about availability zones, give customers the ability to operate production applications and databases that are more highly available, fault tolerant, and scalable than would be possible from a single data center. AWS maintains 76 availability zones around the world, and we continue to add at a fast pace. So, these availability zones are side by side with each other, as I explained, because they are going to offer redundancy to your applications. Now, then we go to local zones under availability zones, and then AWS local zones are new type of AWS infrastructure deployment that places AWS compute, storage, database, and other select services closer to large population, industry, and IT centers. With AWS local zones, you can easily run latency sensitive portions of applications local to end users and resources in a specific geography, delivering single digit millisecond latency for use cases such as media and entertainment, content creation, real time gaming, reservoir simulations, electronic design automation, and machine learning. So, in English, what they're saying is that if if so these local zones, what are these? You can cache some of the data there, some of the applications there. Beside, cache means locally safe, right? So these are the data centers with fast servers that are near big population centers, big business hubs, and you can cache. Suppose the customers are connecting to a banking application, but that banking application is actually in East Coast here, North Virginia, but the customers are in West Coast here, in North California, right? So that application, and there's a latency here over the network because that application is hosted in the virtual machines there. So the data that is frequently being used will be saved in the nearby data centers by AWS. So if the data is in the nearby data center to the population hub or business hub here or industries there, so they don't have to really connect far away to the other East Coast, North Virginia data centers, because whatever data they frequently needed is actually cached or stored nearby, in the nearby data centers nearest to them, right? So that is called local zones, right? So I'll just print screen that, and then we go ahead with what is POP, or points of presence. That is also basically, okay, so the caching as well. So if I go to the questions here, POP, and then are they safe? Okay, we got that. So POP, we'll be talking about that now. But Aslan says, do other countries put their country secret on AWS? Yes, there's another thing. Why Russia would place their virtual machines in US data centers? No way. Russia should have their own data centers, or they can go for Chinese cloud. So, guys, do you know what is the big Chinese cloud service provider? Anyone knows the name of that? Anyone knows the name of the cloud service provider like AWS, like Azure, but it is based in China, and China provides that cloud services? No, Huawei. It's not Huawei. Huawei is for telecom, but there is another one, Alibaba, exactly. So Alibaba, if you go for that, Alibaba Cloud, it's a big one. it's offered from China. So Russia and China are friends, right? So they would just go for Alibaba Cloud there, and that is provided from China, and that's kind of countering, what. So if you go to Alibaba Cloud there, .com, so it is spread across the planet as well, wherever it can. And so you should know wherever the cloud services are there. They're saying 5 billion attacks protection per day. They are so secure. They're talking about security right now. And yes, so that's where their data centers are. In US West, they have, US East, they have, UK, Germany, and then, yeah, so 21 global data center regions. So that's, and 63 availability zones. So they are big as well. Wow. Hey, let's go for fifth data center in our course. Since I'm doing this stunt already for 4 Oracle, so why don't we go for this one as well? Okay, anyway, so but you should know that the Chinese have their own data centers. So yes, if Russia wants to keep their virtual machines, they would go for their own data centers, or they would go for whoever is their political friend, right? Okay, so we're gonna go back here, and we were talking about then POP, and I'm just checking other questions here. Do other countries have their put their secrets? Okay, Wakash sure will do that. Okay, Mohammed Jaffrey says AWS lost bid to Microsoft for Pentagon worth of $10 billion. Yes, Mohammed Jaffrey, that was lost because of Trump. AWS owner Jeff Bezos runs a Washington Post newspaper, and Washington Post really is against Trump, and it reports against. So it's a totally political deal that was done by Pentagon by giving contract to Azure and not AWS. But now AWS has taken them to the court, and the contract has been stopped for now. And there's a case going on that, hey, AWS is better than Azure. How can you give on political basis the contract? So it's all political. Otherwise, performance-wise, it's AWS that is better than Azure. That is very, very clear. Okay, guys. And then can you please explain again? Usman is saying, so yes, Usman, Waqas is saying strange Russia does not have their own. Yeah, Russia may have or may not. And Ahmed says there are not many green dots, local zones. Yeah, so it's just beside the big population centers. When we go for local zones, they are just beside big population centers, and you can see the details here, right? These details. Okay, and then Usman was saying, please explain again. Usman, which exact area you want me to explain again? Ali saying Alibaba, they have own platform like AWS. Yes, Alibaba has its own. Ali, yes, Ali, Alibaba has. Yes, Ali, Alibaba has their own platform. So you are the owner of Alibaba, right? Okay. So yeah, you would be billionaire, right? Hey, what are you doing here? Okay, so so yeah, let's go ahead, and we're talking about local zone. So what is local zone? Local zone is that if the clients are in North California, in West Coast, US West Coast, and they are accessing some data that is actually hosted on East Coast here. So that is North Virginia here. So I'll just put it this way, and so the data is the clients are here. Clients are in North California, right? And the data is here. For some specific reason, they are saying no, we're putting the data here. So that's a lot of data. So clients have a latency. They have to access that data over the WAN connection, and that is not Dodge minivan. That is a wide area network WAN connection there. And so there's a latency here, right? So obviously there will be a latency here, or it will be slower to access all the data and download. So the local zones are that whatever frequently accessed data, if you are frequently accessing that, so that data will be frequently accessed data will be downloaded, and there's a word called caching. So it is cached there. Caching just means that it is locally saved for fast access. Caching means to locally save for fast access. So they will download that data. AWS will download that data automatically to their nearest local zone. Why? So they can access it faster. and they don't have to see the slowness and degraded performance in accessing that data from East Coast to West Coast. That's 3,000 kilometers here apart. So the data will be downloaded to their nearest local zones, which are data centers that are saving the data for fast access. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm just gonna print screen that, and let's go for the pop. Pop, pop. Oh. Okay, so here, then comes the points of presence. So let's click that points of presence, and let's first talk. Let's just read in Martian language, and then we're gonna talk in English now, right? So what they're saying is AWS has the largest global infrastructure footprint of any cloud provider in order to deliver customers content through a worldwide network of points of presence locations, which consists of edge locations and regional edge cache servers. There you go, cache servers. So CloudFront is that service that, okay, let's talk in English now. So what happens is points of presence are edge locations. So what is edge location? So edge location is points of presence. That's it. Okay, so just kidding. So here, points of presence are that those cache servers, which I just explained in local zones as well. So the thing is, there's a service called CDN, Content Delivery Network. Content Delivery Network. Now there's a company headquarters are suppose in North Virginia, and they want to share the media content, HTML, HTMLS, or any media related content. If they want to share a .mp4 file, that's a video of a latest product that they are about to launch, and they're going to be earning millions of dollars there. But they want this mp4 video to be shown in their all offices first, right? So what will happen is that whoever is in North California, so they click, there's a URL that they have to click. Suppose they emailed in North Virginia, they emailed a URL to all the clients in North California. So they click the URL. So first it will check the POP locations or point of presence locations, or which are also called edge locations. What are edge locations? They simply download your media files and cache them so they could be downloaded faster with the nearby users. Now, this could be, edge locations could be anywhere across the planet. They could be anywhere across the planet, right? The points of presence and local zone, what's the difference? Actually, they do the same thing. So, but local zones are created nearby big population centers only. Edge locations are available in those areas where there is no region. In Africa, there is no region, right? And there is no availability zone. Edge locations are there as well. So there are a lot more edge locations or points of presence, and there are a lot less local zones. Local zones are just nearby big population centers and big business areas. So points of presence are going to, you can also say edge locations here, and those edge locations only do one thing. So again, the scenario is that this video needs to be seen by all the employees of the company, and in North California, Bob actually clicks that URL. So this URL is to download this video, right? MP4. So what happens is that first AWS will check that, hey, is it near, is this MP4 file downloaded in the nearest edge location in North California? It doesn't find it there. So it goes to that North Virginia region there. It downloads this file to the edge location, which is a lot of data centers whose job is to cache files. They just cache files, right? Cache media files or web files. That's the only thing they cache through the content delivery network service. So first it will, Bob click that URL, it will check the nearest edge, and it will not find that file. So it will go to that North Virginia source where the file is, and then it will download that file to the nearest edge location, and then Bob will be able to open the file. But then Brian in that North Virginia region, he also clicks that URL, but now this file is already in the nearest data center or edge location. So Brian will get it fast. And then Jane also connects and clicks that URL, so all the other users after Bob will get this file real fast because it's already downloaded for them. Now this file will remain there for 24 hours. If anyone keeps clicking the link, the file will remain there for next 24 hours after that last click. So for the next 24 hours nobody clicks it, then this file will be deleted from that edge location, and whoever connects after 24 hours and clicks that URL, then it will be downloaded again, and then the next people after that will be able to download that faster from the nearby edge locations. So oh, there's a data center in Cape Town. One region in Africa is in Cape Town. So Array, when was it created? I think it's recent, right? It's recent. So because yeah, so if it is recent, yeah. So now Avaz Shah is asking that what if Pakistan wants to host their apps, because AWS have data center in Mumbai, India, not in Pak. So yes, so depends on some companies. Avaz go for, hey, our application is okay. Our data companies data in Pakistan is okay to be hosted in neighbor countries' data centers. And some companies say that no, our data is so critical, we cannot allow, our compliance policy says that it has to be within the country or in a friendly country. So in that case, you would go for, Pakistan would go for, because Pakistan has no choice, there is no region there, right? So Pakistan has to go for any country of where it's nearest, the edge location is nearest, or the region or the data center is nearest, right? So some companies say no, it's okay, it's not that critical, we're just sharing files, and India-based region is okay. And some companies might not go for that. So it depends on the company's compliance policy, that which nearest region or data center, or like Bahrain or exactly like others, that they can go for. Yeah. So it's up to the company. And this situation is in many countries across the planet, that they cannot, if Canadian company doesn't want their data to be hosted in US, they will go to the only region that is there in Canada Central. That's it. There's no other choice. Or to the nearest data center that is available. It's up to the company's compliance policy, right? So Bahrain has that. Okay, Mohammad Awad says the 24-hour is the time to live. Exactly, Mohammad Awad. 24 hours is the time to live. After that, the data will be deleted if nobody clicked it. Or you can pay more. Suppose nobody clicked it, but the company can pay more, that, hey, don't delete it after 24 hours, I'm paying you more. That's it, right? You can keep the data as long as you want if you're paying more. Otherwise, by default, it's just going to go away that way, right? Okay, so and then yeah, and it's 24 hours, exactly as you said, Mohammad Awad. Ali says location of edge server is public. Yes. Location edge servers, so points of presence. So when you click that, so you will see that there are so many points of presence in every continent here. So I'm just going to print screen that, and I'll go down to this, right? Okay, so points of presence are cache servers that are available across the planet. Okay, we get that. Then what is network? If we click the network, so that's just, they're saying, hey, we have very secure and fast networks. That is 100 Gbps links are there. So 100 gigabits per second. And they have one more thing. They have put trans-Pacific cable that spans 14,000 kilometers linking Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, and Oregon is currently being built, expanding the network even further. So they are actually downloading all the cables and putting it there. So that's a really huge investment. And where is Australia here? You can see Australia is okay, sorry, Australia, New Zealand, right? So hey, where's Australia? It's supposed to be down here. Yeah, there you go. So that's Sydney, Australia, and this is New Zealand, right? So from here, they are across the ocean, deep ocean. They are putting cables to connect Oregon here. Oregon is this. From Oregon till Australia, they're putting 14,000 kilometers cable to connect these. So they're going that far, right? Otherwise, there is another diagram that I want to show you, and that is called submarine cables. So that are underwater cables, right? So if I go to images, so these are submarine cables, and this diagram will show you that how continents are connected, because if you're connecting through satellite, it's going to be very expensive and slow, right? But when you're connected from under the ocean cables, then you're really fast. So these are all the submarine cables that are there, and you can see that the submarine cable inside how it looks like, and it's really good. Even the sharks can connect to internet now, and all the fish and turtles can connect, and they can connect to all the turtles of Australia and turtles of Europe and Africa, right? So but the thing is that those submarine cables are connecting, and how they are installed, you have a their boat there that is putting all the cables there after knowing that how far is this. So that's how all the submarine cables are connected to each other. Okay, and I'll just put a picture of that, so when you get the document, so you can just see that, okay, we were also talking about submarine cables, but because of this, we are all connected to each other through from different continents here. Okay, guys, so let's get back here. So then I'm going to the questions on the chat here, and that is, yes, it is all fiber optic, Mohammed. And Ali saying white cable is for AWS or tier one internet fiber cable. So white cable, depends on what the specification is, but yeah, I haven't gone that much. Awad says there is no South Pole in the globe. Just kidding. Oh yeah, AWS didn't have any traffic there, so they didn't bother even creating a South Pole or North Pole. So in that map, Osman is saying why the file gets delete from cache server because of less storage capacity. Yes, Osman, they would not put a file there in the edge locations that is not being used. So, and that is not being frequently used because these are cache servers, right? So these are cache servers. So cache servers means that if file is frequently being used, then only save it, otherwise remove it. Alright guys, we're gonna get a 5 to 9 minute break here, and then we're coming back. So guys, the thing is, we're gonna start the labs, but we have to understand the whole infrastructure first, right? The main thing is, do we understand what we're doing? Okay, let's take a 5 to 7 minutes break, and then come back here. Break. Okay, 5 to 7 minutes. So class starts at 9:12. Okay, 9:15. Okay. Class starts 9:15. Alright, guys. Let's come back after this. Guys, alright, guys. So we're back, and let's continue. So we were talking about the submarine cables. We went under the ocean and then tried to put it there as well. And okay, so there are some comments here, and yes, Ali can see actually white cables there on the map as well. And these are those white cables that are showing there. Well, that's just data flow that's there showing, and that's from Japan to Sydney. So yes, you're right, submarine cables are there showing from Japan to Sydney. Okay guys, so let's go ahead, and that's the infrastructure, and then custom hardware. If we go there, so they're just showing load balancers are there, storage servers are there, compute servers are there, silicon routers are there, and then there are benefits here: strongest security, highest availability and reliability, and fastest performance, and largest, most flexible global footprint. So they are expanding their global footprint. They are creating a lot of data centers across the planet, and they still retain the top place in the globe. So let's come back to planet Earth now. Okay, yeah. So we were on Earth. So I'm gonna click home here, and that's the home home run here. Okay, let's click the home, and then there's that globe on which you can see that how many regions are there, where are those regions for AWS, and how they are connected to each other, how many availability zones are there, So that's what. And if you click the global infrastructure now, so then you can see there's on the top there's region, then there are availability zones, then there are data centers, and there are pops there for the data centers as well nearby for caching. So this is a good map for overall the showing the infrastructure. That top is the region, then availability zones, then data centers, and then pop. So having that picture in mind is really important because when we're talking about redundancy, so this picture should be in mind that the redundancy of the virtual machines and the data that we are having would be really important to understand that how redundancy really works, how high availability will work, how fault tolerance and synchronization and asynchronization will work, right? Anyone knows the difference between synchronization and asynchronization? What's the difference between synchronization and asynchronization? What's the difference between synchronization and async? So if I just type it fast here.
Okay, for synchronization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about them. Let's use network routes, for example.
Yeah.
Synchronization means that it's going through the same route, maybe to go same way and come back same way.
Okay.
Synchronization, it's in synchronized, it's synchronized, it's moving at the same path, sort of. But asynchronization means that it can take different paths. This is in terms of network. It's in terms of data replication now. So in terms of network, asynchronization means that it can take different paths. So it can go through one path and then they can come back through another path.
And what about the speed between the two types?
So synchronization is usually faster than asynchronization in terms of speed.
Exactly, and synchronization would be used on fast networks, so definitely in LAN environment or fast networks, and asynchronization would be slower and would be used on mostly WAN. So if you have machines that are far on a slower network like WAN network, wide area network, or WAN, then you would go for asynchronization, and synchronization is faster on LAN when you have exactly real time and not real time authentication and sync. Okay, so this asynchronization is what's going to happen between the regions, while synchronization is for machines here that are faster. So if we just talk about that a little further, so synchronization would be that if you have a machine in the LAN and that is active and that other machine is passive, and then you have synchronization going on because it's on faster network, so it will sync all the data, which or all the changes or deltas would be saved from active. Whatever is going on in active will be saved in passive as well, right? So if active goes down, then passive becomes active. So that's the main thing about synchronization. There's zero data loss here or no data loss, so no data loss, and then it's faster, and it's same time updates on two machines, so it's just much faster this way, and it's delayed sync updates. So this means that we're talking about data loss here as well in case of disaster, and it's mostly used in WAN or slower networks. So that would be main thing about the synchronization and asynchronization. So when we use this term in the cloud perspective, or between the regions when they talk to each other, obviously they would be going async when cross-region replication is going on between two regions. One region is in East Coast, other region is in Europe or in West Coast. So obviously then they cannot be doing a synchronization because that's not going to be a fast enough network there, right? So I'll just copy this diagram so I could give you in LMS there. Now guys, we have talked about the infrastructure, we have talked about introduction to services here, and if we go back to let's go back to our dashboard here where we saw all the services here, right? So I hope everyone's in the dashboard back here again, and there's the services, and so just click the services and you would see all the services here, right? Now, if we go to services, then the first stop that we will have is this IAM, and that is Identity and Access Management. We need to explore this option now. This is just like in Azure. I'm comparing it to Active Directory in Azure, which we haven't visited yet, right? But many of you would have an idea what is an Active Directory. It offers authentication, authorization, and accounting. But IAM is that area where you can centrally create some users and groups, and also you can just go for permissions and roles. But one more thing that we did not talk about is this guy. What is this? Global. So if you click that, oh, there are so many regions here. US East, North Virginia, US East 1, remember by names as well, or by these codes as well. US East Ohio, that is US East 2. So there are two regions in the East Coast US, and there are two regions in the West Coast. So that's perfect. If there's a regional level outage in the West Coast, then the other region is still there, and that's the same thing for East Coast as well. And then there is Africa, there's Cape Town, as you said, Eddie. So an F-South 1, and then there is Asia Pacific, AP East 1, AP East 2. AP just means Asia Pacific here. So we need to just be familiar with these names here and why they are all grayed out here. Anyone knows the reason why we cannot? I cannot select that. I'm clicking that. Can't select it. Why they are grayed out? Anyone knows?
Free tier, you don't have access to it.
Sorry, again?
Free tier, we don't have access to it
No.
because it's a free account.
Well, that okay. Let me just show you one more thing then. Okay, guys, if we cannot access that because it is global, okay, I'll just put this here. So let's go up there and go to services and do. Can we all go to EC2 now? Let's click the EC2 now. Everyone, click the services here and click EC2. This is the virtual machine area, right? Okay, there you go. Vikas says it. So if you click EC2, oh, I see North Virginia now. Or I see. If you click that, all the regions are clickable here. Can you tell me the reason for that? So the thing is, some services are globally available, and other services are available in every region wherever you prefer, or wherever you are, or whichever region is nearest to you. So when you're creating virtual machines, it's saying, oh, you're creating a virtual machine, so this is a regional service. So just select the nearest region to you or preferred region for yourself, right? So whichever you prefer, or the nearest. Obviously you would prefer to be connecting to nearest. The thing is that majority of the services will be region based, but many of the services are central services. So if we go back, click the services again now, and then go for IAM by typing here, or IAM is here as well under the security, identity, and compliance. Either I can click here IAM, or I can type here IAM, and it comes here. So when you click there, so it's a global service. So it is available for every region regardless of where you are. Because when you create a user, obviously you would not create a user just for North Virginia, or you would not create a user just for Cape Town, or for Asia Pacific Sydney, or for Frankfurt or Ireland. You will create a user globally that can use regional services as well, right? So as Vikas says here, IAM can only be in global, and user groups roles will be only global, not in every zone exactly. So virtual machines actually will be using your hardware, AWS's data centers resources or hardware, right? Network will be using the hardware, VPC or databases will be using hardware, storage will be using hardware. So they need to be placed in some kind of data center. Users created there, groups created there, permissions created there. They are specifically using hardware that is going to be charged. So they are globally available, and obviously this will be very confusing if you create a user in suppose US East region, and then you're going to need that in US West region. So we can create that same user again here. Oh, then I need that same user here, Asia Pacific. Oh, let me create that here again. So it has to be centrally available. Just like in Microsoft environment, you have an Active Directory where you create users that can log into any, suppose you have 10,000 Windows 10 machines, right? So they can log into any of those machines if you centrally create them in Active Directory. So hence the main thing is that yes, we have IAM that is centrally available or globally available, right? So that's what's saying. Second thing is that you can see all these groups, users, roles, policies, identity providers, account settings here, access analyzer, and so on and so forth. So we're going to try to understand this whole area here. What we need to do first is that you can see IAM users sign in link. Oh, what is this? IAM user sign in link. This means that there has to be a link for your company. Employees, they want to connect. Developers, they want to connect. So they will ask, hey, where is our company specific URL? So we could connect through that URL to use the company virtual machines or EC2 instances, company VPC or virtual private cloud or local or private centers. So we need to have a link that is connected to for our company. So now you see that I have my name written here, Amir, and the date here because that was going on for the previous course. So but you will have here random numbers right now, right? So let's change that link. Suppose you are the resource for the company, for your company, you're the only AWS who resource there, and they will always come to you for anything AWS. So you have to create a link for the all the employees that will be later allowed to connect to AWS, the developers or contractors or employees, right? So we need to put that link as company link, or in our case, we're going to put some name here, right, instead of random numbers. So let me first click customize here to remove this. Ignore what I'm doing now because I already had that. Now this is how your site is also looking like, right? So if it is looking like this, so we can customize it now. So let's go ahead, everyone, and click this customize button here. So I hope everyone is doing that. So click customize here, and then your company name is suppose bitcoin.rich or bitcoin rich, or it's not domain name, it's just a name, right? So what we can do is we can just go for your first name and then today's date, 19 June 2020, and I hope there is no other Amir in this so class, but I'm just gonna put here my favorite delight here, samosa. Okay, some of you might not know what is samosa, but when I keep on sambosa or samosa, so those coming from Humber College, you would know that I already mentioned that. So anyway, if this really mysterious food that you're wondering about, so this is this. And I'm just going to quickly show that to you, so you would not be wondering, is that a technical term or is it so it's not a technical term, it's just delicious term, right? It's just delicious, that's it. Okay, let me go back here to what we were doing, and that is your first name, 19 June, and just put something here, right? But this is proprietary name, so you can't use that, only I can use that, right? Okay, just kidding. So anyway, let's just click create here. Later you will understand why did we create that, but you have to give a name here for the company. It's not have to, it's better to do that, right? Otherwise you can give a random number to employees as well. Better put your company name or some identifiable name for the employees to know that, oh, we are connecting to the right resource. So I'm gonna put yes create, but is it gonna let me create with capital letters here? I have a capital S here, right, and capital J here, right? So I'm gonna click yes create, and it says, oh, whoa, what are you doing here? Oh man, what are you doing? So guys, it's gonna accept only small case, small s here, and small j here. Also make sure that this 9 is also small case. Don't make it capital. Try to make sure that 9 is small case as well, right? So okay, just kidding. So so yeah, don't try this. Yes, maybe you're trying with the caps lock on and then shift and then 9. So just don't try that, right? I'm just kidding. So here, and then click yes create. So once you click yes create, so this is first of all company name. Now this will appear in your MFA in your cell phone as well. So in next class, please don't forget to bring your cell phone. Oh, you are home. So, okay, just kidding. So here, first we give the company name here, and then we go for users. So you can see that there are 5 areas here. Security status is delete your root access keys. What is access keys? And then activate MFA on your root account. What is MFA? Multi-factor authentication. Okay. Create individual IAM users. This is, suppose you're a company of 10,000 users, and there are 5 developers, and there are 20 database experts. They all want to connect initially, and then all the users will be connecting there, right, for professional services. So you want to create some end users who do not have any privileges, or you want to give later some privileges there. So yeah.
Just what the region you choose, because I have different from you.
See,
What the region that you
yeah.
choose?
So Mohammed, there is no region for IAM. And what do you see there? Do you not see global?
I have only just number one. Delete your root access key is a right. The other is
Oh,
activate MFA and create individual, use group, apply and
they're all
IAM is different
they're
from
all
you.
not green, right? They're orange. Oh, you're saying that
Yeah, the only green is the
Oh, yeah.
delete your root
Okay.
access key. The only green.
So okay, guys, I have all these green because I have done something inside it in previous class. That's why it's there green. But
Okay.
yeah, it has nothing to do with region, right? So it is global. It is centrally available. So region has nothing to do with this, right? So second thing is, if you have completed these tasks, it will be green. If you haven't completed it, it will be orange. So for your side, it should be orange. For me, ignore that because I have already done it, so I'll delete that later, right? So okay. Now we see here users, and then delete your. So for what is the root access key? Now, Arslan says I have a question. Yes, sir, Arslan. What's the question? You can come on mic and ask.
Oh, sir. Yeah. So my question is that can you explain a little bit more that what exactly we are doing identifier access management? What does that actually mean? Like what are we actually doing right now? Like this. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So IAM is where you can create users, you can create groups, you can give permissions to users. Suppose we create 2 users and they need to access virtual machines. So first you create users, then you give them permissions to use those virtual machines. One of the users need access to storage as well. Other users should not be given access, so you can deny access with the help of roles and policies there. So just like in Microsoft, when you want to use or offer services to end users, so first you create those users in Active Directory, the 390 users we created there, and then you can log in from Windows 10 with those end users, and they can use Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So we're here to create this is identity and access management, right? So identity first means that, hey, who is there, or you have to identify, is it our guy or not? And second thing is, if it is our guy and authentication was done. Okay, I need to really make this volume less. WhatsApp. And then identity just means that user is ours or not. Authentication and authorization, that is identity, right? Access management is that, okay, this authentication is done, this is our guy, the username password is correct, but what then authorization? What resources that user needs to access, and what resources that user should not be accessing. So that is access management. So identity will be, is it our user or not, and access management will be. So basically, in other words, if I rephrase it, it's authentication and authorization. That's where we are, right?
Okay, so my question, yeah, so my, no, I got it. So my question is like, for example, if you're getting like
Your
a
voice is low.
service.
Oh, sorry, my volume.
Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
My question is like, for example, if you're getting a service from AWS or is, so you contacted them and this is what you have to do at your end, or they are
Yeah,
going
so
to
first we
do it?
contact them, and well, it's not contact them, we just simply go to AWS. we go for, instead of free tier, we create a commercial account first, right? Here we created free tier. Then once you create a commercial account, then if you don't have any users in the company that needs to be connected, then you don't have to come here, right? But if you have a lot of users that will be connecting to this company's AWS subscription, then you have to come here and create those users. Then you have to create multi-factor authentication for those company users, and then you have to assign permissions to those users. Those users will be actually using virtual EC2 instances, so you will have to come here again to give specific permissions to those users or roles to those users. So if there are other employees in the companies that needs to access AWS resources, then you have to come here in IAM for that. If you're the only one here that is doing everything, so yeah, then you kind of don't need to come, other than create that MFA here, multi-factor authentication, which we'll be doing. So yeah, so the reason for coming here is to create users to let them use resources. All right, cool. Okay, so guys, what we need to check here, what is the meaning of delete your root access keys? And that means, what is root? Anyone knows what's a root? So root would be the first account with which you created this subscription. In my case, this account here with which I added the credit card, and I'm using this whole AWS account, right? So that is the root account. So root account has all the privileges, exactly. Fahad said main account, Osman says primary account, exactly. So that is the root account. Now access keys, what is access keys? Access keys just means that there is that private key and security key and access key. So what happens is that if you are connecting from a software to AWS, what am I talking about now? So this root account can connect from CLI as well. Oh, what is CLI? You know, that DOS mode and command line interface, and you get C:\/ here, and then you can start giving commands here, right? So why am I explaining that? I think everyone knows that, right? So CLI, you can connect to that, and then from that, if you want to connect to AWS directly, you have to put access keys there. Suppose you're connecting from a third-party application called, which we will be downloading and connecting from, and that is called Cloudberry. There's an application, you can Google it. We're going to be actually downloading that. So Cloudberry Explorer, or any third-party application that you will connect from. Visual Studio, maybe some of you know what is Visual Studio. It has programming languages like Visual C, Visual Java, right? So from within an application, you're connecting to AWS, then they will not only ask that what is your username password, they're going to ask random alphanumeric numbers. So like 7A4910CQ, whatever, right? So it will be a long access key which will be encrypted as well, and that access key will be only generated for your user account. So you have to not only put username password, sometimes it's just the access key. Hey, give me that access key within the application. There will be a window there that put that access key. If it is you, then your access key will be correct. If it is someone else, then maybe you have a wrong access key. So access key is just a random long encrypted number that you put there, so they will recognize, oh, this is the root account. Okay. So when it tries to connect to your AWS, that AWS will confirm, oh, is that the same access key here that has been placed in the Cloudberry application or in Visual Studio? It will compare the access key and it will say, yes, this is our guy. Let him or her connect from any of the third-party applications to AWS. So you use access keys when you're connecting from other applications and other than browser. This is all browser we are connecting, so we have to put username password. But from other applications you want to connect to AWS, you need access keys. We're going to be doing that when we install Cloudberry. We're going to use access keys at that time. Then you will understand as well. But that's what they're saying. Delete root access keys. So why do we want to delete that? Because they're saying that, I'm just copying that. So delete root access keys just means that, hey, you're the root account. Don't use it for day-to-day job. So delete those root access keys once created, you can create access keys anytime you want, right? But use another account and give it some privileges for day-to-day tasks. Do not use your root account for day-to-day tasks. That's what this whole sentence means, right? So there are some questions here. Ahmed says, so the users and groups here, we just brought them from our AD. We can do that too. Ahmed, we can do that too, but these are the users that are created directly inside AWS. They are not brought from AD. If you want to bring that from AD, there is a separate Active Directory service within AWS. There you can bring them, but not here, right? These are purely authorization system of AWS. So, and Mohammed says here, can I delegate a user root privilege to someone else? Yes, yes, yes. You can. That's what we're going to learn here. What are permissions here? What are roles here? What are policies here? You can give highest privilege to any other user that you create just now, right? So we can create another user and we can give highest privilege to that user. Just like in Active Directory or in databases or in Linux or in VMware. By the way, tomorrow there's a VMware course starting at NetWest College. NetWest College is a authorized VMware college, so you can do VMware course only in VMware authorized academies only. You can't do VMware independently. Okay, anyway, so if you are interested in that, let me know after the class. All right, guys, so here, what we're doing is activate MFA on your root account. So first of all, delete your root access key. We're not gonna do that. Why? Because this is a trial environment, first of all, and some of the top level tasks are done only by root that cannot be done by the other account that has been added to the security group that has all the privileges. So some top level, so we want to learn all the services with the top privileges for now, right? That's why we're going to keep on using root account. But in production environment, we're going to create another account. We're going to give it administrator privileges, and that account we can use from time to time for everything in production environment. Here, training environment, let's get all privileges, and we're going to use that. So that's why we're not going to delete root access keys right now. And then the second one is MFA, multi-factor authentication. So next class, please bring your cell phone. Oh, just kidding. So we're going to install Google Authenticator application in next class. And then we're going to connect our cell phones to this account, this company link. And then what is MFA? Basically, you can put username, password to log in, and then it will not let you log in. It will also ask a number, a randomly generated number for 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, it will generate a new number. You have to put that number there, and then you will be able to log in. So that's always very secure. And my suggestion is, throughout the course, do not remove MFA once we put it there. You must get into the habit of using MFA whenever you're logging in to AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So use MFA as if you're just like you're used to breathing. That's how you should be used to using MFA. Do not ever remove it, right? Make it your habit. Okay, so Vakas says here, can I delegate? Okay, my root access are not there, deleted, but the icon is green tick instead of orange. Green tick instead of orange. So if you have done any changes, then it will be green. But if you have not done any changes, then it should be orange. Otherwise, you can investigate that who else made those changes. And Usman says, why would I delete root access in general if I am primary account holder? Oh, I will not delete the root access. Like, deleting the access keys just means that, okay, let's just go inside. So, guys, just click that. Click it, right? Go ahead and click that. I hope everyone's doing that. So, click that and then click the Manage Security Credentials. Manage Security Credentials. Once we click the Manage Security Credentials under Delete your root access keys, then we can go to Access Keys, the third one. Access Keys, the third one. So once you click that, oh, there are the access keys. I mean, I've been using that, so don't, for CloudFront and EC2, so that's why I see that. So do you see any access key, or is it empty for you right now? Did you see any access key here, or is it empty for you? So you can see that there's an access key ID, and it's there. It is empty, right? So I'm just gonna delete mine. Am I using it for anything? No. Okay, I'll delete mine. Just ignore that because I can create always, right? EC2 US East 1, last used there. Okay, I don't want to use it now, so because I deleted all the machines anyway. So guys, you have an empty area here because you didn't have to use that before, so we can create new access keys. So in my case, it applies that I have an access key which I haven't deleted, and anyone else can take benefit, or any hacker can take advantage of that. In your case, you didn't have any access key, so you will create that key when you need it. So when you're connecting from outside applications or from CLI, then you will need it. So if I go ahead and click that create new access key, we don't need it now. Create new access key, right? Once you click that create new access key, then there is show access key here. Now once you click the show access key, this is how it looks like. There's a access key ID and there's a secret access key. So these two windows normally appear in those software like Cloudberry, which is a third-party software, or CLI. You have to put the access key ID and secret access key, and then AWS will check that these two keys are similar here that you are putting in a third-party software, and then it will compare and will let you access from that application into that. So they're just saying that, hey, if you have the access key, just go ahead and delete that. If you don't have it, you're already good. You're already cool, right? So Avakas says, can you just go back and check if your keys icon is green now? Oh, okay. So I'll just go back here. Oh, did I create that? Okay, I created one key, guys. I'm gonna delete that again. Yes. And dashboard. Yes, I made a change here and it's green now. And that change was actually, I deleted that, and actually this change was what I was supposed to do in this area. So delete your root access keys. Yes, I did that. So it is green for you because you already don't have it, right? So okay, cool. So guys, when we do create access keys, and when you do log in from a third-party application, which we will be doing later, so then you will see that these access keys, I will ask you to, hey, let's come here, and then we'll all go here. They'll grab those access keys, and then we're gonna put it in the application, and we will be able to connect. So you're gonna see that this is how it's being used. When you're connecting from GUI, graphical interface browser, you have to put username password.
So have you deleted all the three or what?
So if I go back there, manage security, and then access keys here, yep, all gone. Because I deleted the last one as well, which I created. Okay.
Oh.
So I'm back here. So others should be orange for you, and they're green because I configured them. So I'm gonna unconfigure them, and then I'm gonna reconfigure them later. So guys, this is 9:50 right now. For today, we had some introduction to the whole environment, and in next class we're gonna go thoroughly. We're gonna create users. We're gonna create groups. We're gonna understand roles. We're gonna understand policies. We're gonna understand identity providers, account settings, and we're gonna go through all that. And there are labs for some, and some are theory, because what we can do, we will do. What we cannot do, I will explain with diagrams what is the purpose of those features, right? So, so Vikas says in the
just very quick question, please. If you delete this key, all the privilege of the root will be gone, or what will happen?
Suppose this key was being used by you or by me to connect through CLI always. I was connecting last full week from CLI command line interface, or I was connecting from an application. So as soon as I delete that key, I won't be able to connect from that particular application where I was using this key, and I will have to come here. If I want to connect again through the application or through CLI, I will have to come here, create new key, put it back in the application or CLI, and then I will be able to connect. So my current connection through applications will be affected, but it has nothing to do with privileges. So, okay guys, if there are any questions, let me know. So we have gone in detail. I'm going with baby steps here because we need to all understand each and every step, and we're gonna go slow in the start. Then as you pick up, then we're gonna go faster. One more thing is that, guys, if any one of you would need help or assistance every third or fourth step, then better sit back and understand what's going on here. And then when the video is released, you can follow up, because you will have other days to follow and do those labs. If you're okay, you're a bit faster, and you're not going to slow down the class. If suppose you're stuck and the problem is being solved in few minutes, it's okay. If it takes longer time and again we have to tell you that, oh, go to this step, oh, how do I go to this step, oh, go this way, oh, how do I go this way? So if there's too many hows, then yes, sit back and try to understand what's going on, and when the video is released, follow it at your own pace. And I'll be creating a WhatsApp group now, and those who have done the payments, you can access the LMS and WhatsApp group, and then we're gonna go ahead. So this Wednesday, 5:55 sharp, you get the WebEx invitation, and we're gonna start thoroughly with these things. Then these features. Then we're gonna go ahead with virtual machine and networking and storage. Lots and lots of labs are coming your way now, and you try to follow exactly as I'm doing that, and you will be okay. Hey guys, yeah.
When the documents will be available,
So
please?
this video, first of all, will be available because it takes 1.5 hours to get created and converted to MP4. So by tonight or by tomorrow morning. But the document where I was putting this, where I was copying this will be available now. Those who have access to LMS, they will see this document there in LMS. Now in after the class, right? And I will start the video. So tomorrow anytime the video will be there. Otherwise you can WhatsApp me, hey prof, or hey teach, where's the video? So you can tell me as well, right? So okay, if there are any questions, let me know, and otherwise see you on this Wednesday. We'll start. I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna take everyone with me, but if you're, just sorry to say, if you're too slow, then please cooperate and try to understand first, because if you can't understand, you can't do anything else. Then doing anything else is of no use anyway if you don't understand. So main thing is, do you understand? Then repeat the labs. Third thing, certify ASAP. Okay. Have you made the WhatsApp group? No, I haven't. And tonight I will be doing that. I'm gonna create the WhatsApp group. I'm gonna create Google group, and I'll put all these documentation there. And stay in contact with me if you have any question on WhatsApp and ask me anything you want. Alright, guys. So see you this Wednesday, 5:55. Expect that link there in your email, and hopefully the WhatsApp group will be created before that. Or those who have paid then will be added. I'll keep on adding all those to WhatsApp group and LMS and everything. So it's gonna take time. Okay, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you. I'll stop the video now.